All right, everybody. Just getting started here with our live stream. Let me check a few, make sure we're all good. Get started momentarily. All right, getting started in a minute here. Bear with me 30 more seconds. All right, everybody, welcome to the live stream. I'm Jared with Scamware 101, and we do this weekly live stream every week to bring awareness about common scams and how to protect yourself from becoming a victim. We're trying a few new things tonight. Doing a live stream on Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. So we'll see how it holds up, but looking so far so good. And if it's your first time joining, again, my name is Jared. We do this live stream every week, and our goal is to spread awareness about common scams targeting individuals. We go over about 20 different types of scams. We show you real examples of email scams. We play recordings of goals to spread awareness. Over about 20 email scams, call scams, so you some text message scams, some screenshots of those. We even go over some snail mail scams of traditional postal service mail. So lots of good information on this live stream. Again, our goal is to spread awareness about these scams so you just protect yourself, protect your loved ones from becoming a victim. So we're going to get started in about 2 more minutes here, and we're going to dive right into some examples of the scams. But in the meantime, hit that like button, subscribe. Let's see if we get some more people in the live stream. The more likes we get, the more subscribers we get, the more the algorithm will share our content. That's the whole goal. We also have a YouTube channel where we release scam awareness videos. So definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel. A lot of the scams we're going to go over tonight, we actually have videos about those scams. So after a live stream, you can go check out the channel and see if there's any videos of specific scams that you might want to review or share with a loved one. I mentioned earlier, we are live streaming on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And that's the first time we've streamed across all 3 platforms. I'm not really monitoring Facebook, not really monitoring Instagram, so hopefully it goes well. But what I am monitoring is the YouTube streams. So if you come say hi in the YouTube chat, and I'll probably reply. I see a few people talking already. Hi, Zane. Zane's in the YouTube chat. We also got 2 YouTube live streams going. One is a vertical live stream, and one is a widescreen live stream. So whichever view you prefer, you could go onto YouTube and check it out. They are separate chats though. So, but again, I'm bouncing back and forth between those 2 chats, and I'll do my best to answer any questions people put in the chat. In the meantime, if you're on Instagram or Facebook, you can watch on there. But again, if you want to ask questions and talk in the chat, head on over to YouTube, because that's the chat I'm monitoring. All right. Well, with that said, let's get started. If you're just joining us again, my name is Jared with Scamware 101. We do this live stream every week with the goal to spread awareness of common scams. We're going to go over about 20 different types of scams tonight. We're going to show you real examples of scam emails, text messages, phone calls, snail mail scams. A little bit about us, Scamware 101. You can join our free mailing list, and we'll send you reminders about when we're going live, and we'll send you some tips about scams and how to protect yourself. And again, it's free mailing list. You can unsubscribe at any time. You can also follow us on social media. We're on all your favorite social media platforms: Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, and YouTube. So we're most active on YouTube and Facebook. Follow us there, subscribe to us there, and you'll stay up to date. And don't be shy. Say hi in the chat. Hit that like button. Let's see if we get some more people in there. All right, lots of good stuff to come up. Let's dive into our first scam of the evening that we're going to talk about here. That is arrest warrant scams. So these arrest warrant scams, we've seen lots of warnings coming out from local law enforcement about these, local sheriff's offices. Basically what happens is a victim is contacted by a scammer impersonating law enforcement. The scammer will claim an arrest warrant was issued and fines must be paid to resolve it. The scammer then threatens the victim with arrest if fines aren't paid immediately. And there's a couple of things to note about this scam. When the scammer reaches out to the victim, usually by phone, they're impersonating law enforcement. We know for a fact that they're impersonating the sheriff's office. They're saying they're with the local sheriff's office. And the caller ID, and this is important to remember, the caller ID will actually show the sheriff's office's phone number. Or they'll show the police department they're impersonating. Right? So caller ID is not a reliable way to verify who you're talking to. And the scammers know it. So they're calling you, they're manipulating what the caller ID shows, and it can be very convincing. Right? If somebody calls up, they say they're with the sheriff's office, your caller ID shows the sheriff's office's phone number, and a lot of times they'll say you missed jury duty. A lot of times that'll be the reason. Not every time, but it's a common reason they give, claiming that an arrest warrant could be issued. They'll demand immediate payment, or they'll say that they're going to send one of their deputies down there to arrest you right now. So it could be a little scary, right? So, like I said, there's lots of warnings about these arrest warrant scams. Local law enforcement does not like these because these scammers are impersonating law enforcement, right? And we know the police don't appreciate that. Also, these arrest warrant scammers, they've been known to provide fake paperwork too. So be aware of that. If somebody's reaching out to you claiming there's an arrest warrant, they're calling you up and they're claiming they have paperwork, don't trust it. What you need to do in this case, if you get a call like this, and really any unsolicited phone call now, what you have to do is you have to hang up with whoever calls and then verify the information by reaching out directly to the organization. So in this case, if somebody calls you up claiming there's an arrest warrant that's going to be issued, ask them what organization they're with, right? Hang up the phone and contact the organization directly if you're concerned that it might be a real scenario. So be aware of that. Arrest warrant scams, extremely common right now. Sometimes they're referred to as jury duty scams, again, because they'll say you missed jury duty. Watch out for them. We have a video about this one. So you actually go check out the video later if you want. We actually include some clips about warnings from local sheriff's offices in that video. And there's some examples of the fake paperwork that these scammers have provided. So definitely check out the video on our YouTube channel. I see someone's in the chat saying I should create some long form videos about this. And yeah, we do have those videos already. So that's why we do this live stream though, because it gets us to a wider audience and we let people know about the videos. So, but anyway, back to these arrest warrant scams. Watch out for them. Check out the video we released. Somebody calls you up claiming that they're from the sheriff's office. Even if the caller ID shows that phone number, don't trust it. You have to hang up. And if you're concerned it's real, call directly and verify. If you're just joining us, we do this live stream every week. I'm Jared with Scamware 101. We have a few live streams going right now. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I'm only monitoring the YouTube chats though, so you can hop over to YouTube if you want to put in the chat and I'll answer you. I see Bull just put good advice. Thank you. Yep. And that advice really it applies to all unsolicited phone calls. Someone you don't know is calling you, whether they're impersonating the bank or sheriff's office. They know that these scams exist, and they'll be okay with you saying, "Hey, thanks for letting me know. I'm going to hang up and confirm a few things." Right? But don't interact with the unsolicited phone call. And speaking of impersonation scams, the next scam we're going to talk about here is a bank impersonation scam. This scam is huge right now. And the scammers might even know information about you. They might know what bank you already use. So they know which bank to impersonate and then claim that they're with. I have a few examples to share with you, but basically how these bank impersonation scams work is scammers impersonate the bank, usually claiming suspicious activity was detected under a victim's account. Victims are then tricked into withdrawing and transferring funds to the scammers who are impersonating the bank. And again, this is one of those cases where if the scammer's reaching out to you over the phone, the caller ID might even display the bank's phone number, right? Because we know this is one of those scams where the caller ID will show the bank that they're impersonating. So the same advice applies for these unsolicited phone calls, especially if it's something about claiming to be from the bank. Hang up, call your bank directly. Now, I have an example of this scam to share with you. And the thing to keep in mind about the scam, too, is they're targeting victims by the phone and text message. And then there's the phishing emails, right? So we're being targeted from all directions with these bank impersonation scams. I think a lot of people are used to getting the emails, but you can't trust phone calls. You can't trust text messages either. Really, any unsolicited communication claiming to be from the bank, you have to verify it. You have to call your bank directly and verify it. In this example that you see right now on the screen is a text message version of this scam. And you can see that the text message is claiming to be from TD Bank, and it's trying to claim that a transaction was made on the account. It's trying to impersonate one of those warning text messages you get. You ever use your credit card out of state, and sometimes you'll get a warning on you'll get a text from the bank saying, "Hey, was this really you?" That's what the scammers are trying to impersonate here. What's interesting about this text message example of this scam is right before this text message came in, the victim also received a phone call. She didn't answer the phone call, but the caller ID did display TD Bank's phone number on the caller ID. Right? So we know that these scammers are manipulating the caller ID. They're putting the phone number of the bank that they're impersonating. Some of these scammers, even when they're talking to the victim over the phone, they'll tell them, compare the phone number on caller ID to the back of your card. See, it matches. But you can't trust caller ID. It's spoofed. It's a fake number that they put on there. It's TD Bank's phone number. It's not theirs. Right? So very important to recognize you can't trust caller ID. Very important to verify any unsolicited communication that claims to be from the bank. We know this is happening. We know that they're targeting users by phone. They're targeting users by text message. They're targeting them with phishing emails. And they'll be convincing. For example, the person that submitted this to me, their bank was TD Bank. So it's very likely the scammer may have known that, because the scammers, they know information about us, and they use that information to make their scams appear more legit. One more thing I want to talk about these bank impersonation scams, just kind of drill home the point here. Here's an article from last year, November last year, and it was a victim of one of these bank impersonation scams. And in her case, they impersonated Wells Fargo, right? And she got a phone call. She thought it was from her bank. The caller ID showed Wells Fargo's phone number. So she thought she was talking to Wells Fargo, right? She says, I did everything they said to do, and they literally drained my bank account, she explained. It could be a very convincing scam. So make sure that your loved ones are aware of this. So she said, I got a call from Wells Fargo number saying that I had fraudulent activity on my account. Like just what we said, right? They reach out to the victim. They usually claim there's fraudulent activity or suspicious activity. She said that a random person was being sent money from Zelle. That's what they told her. Which, by the way, Zelle is a red flag. Someone's calling you, claiming to be from the bank, telling you something's going on with Zelle or to send money with Zelle. It's a very common scammer red flag. So be aware of that. They told her she needed to Zelle money to an account and then it would be returned to her right away, but it wasn't. And we see this narrative a lot with scammers. They try to convince you that your money's not safe in your bank account. They'll say someone stole your identity or someone's making charges and has access to your account. And that's how they convince the victim to withdraw their money and transfer it. A couple notes also about this text message, this example of a scam text message impersonating a bank here. There's a couple red flags on this text message to be aware of. So the first one is, if this had really been from your bank, it wouldn't have come from a real phone number. And what I mean by that is it would have come from a short code. You know how you get a text message sometimes? It'll be like a 5-digit short code number. If it was from the bank, it would be one of those short codes. It wouldn't have a real phone number like this. So that's the first red flag. The second red flag was it didn't indicate the account. If this had been a real message from the bank, it would have had some kind of indicator, like the last 4 digits of the account. It would have had something to make it clear which account it was talking about. Right? And the third red flag is the capitalization in this text message is strange. Right? The T in transaction is capitalized, which is for no reason. The R in reply, the N in not. So it's when you notice grammar mistakes or spelling mistakes, it's always a red flag. So that also sticks out in this example. But the best thing you can do in a situation like this, if you're concerned, call your bank directly. Right? Don't reply to text messages, just call them directly if you're concerned something going on with your account. And be aware that scammers are doing this. They're sending out these text messages, they're making the phone calls, they're showing the bank's number on caller ID. All important to be aware of. So that's bank impersonation scams. Extremely common right now. It's important to be aware of them. How are you all doing out there? Say hi in the chat. Let us know you're watching. Again, I'm monitoring the YouTube chats, so if you want me to see what you're saying or have a question, hop on over to YouTube. I'll answer any questions you have in that chat. And we should be streaming on Facebook and Instagram too. I'm not really monitoring those, so first time we're doing that, streaming on 3 platforms. So hopefully it goes good, and when I check it later, there's no problems. But I guess we'll find out. We're good on YouTube. All right, let's talk about our next scam here. Tech support scams. This is a big one. And you know, we're going to spend a little time on this one. I have quite a few examples to show you. But you know, before we do that, if anybody's just joining us, say hi in the chat. Let us know you're watching. You can join our free mailing list over on scamaware101.com. You click join free mailing list. We'll send you some useful scam awareness tips and reminders about when we're going live. You can also follow us on your favorite social media platforms on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, YouTube. Definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's where we're releasing a lot of scam awareness videos. Oh, also, you know, feel free to donate. We do take donations. We have the Super Thanks enabled on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, you can hit that Super Thanks button, or you go to scamaware101.com/donate. We got the QR code on the screen, or you can just go directly to that link. I see John's in the chat. Welcome, John. Good to see you. All right, tech support scams. Victims receive a fake virus alert on their device and are tricked into calling a fake tech support phone number. The victim is then unknowingly connected to a scammer who requests access to the victim's device. The scammer then steals personal and financial information from the victim. And these are really damaging scams. Usually these tech support scams, they'll start with a fake virus alert. There have been cases where these scammers will call the victims directly on the phone, and they'll claim to be from Microsoft or an antivirus company, and they'll try to scam them that way. But the most common tech support scams are these fake virus alerts that pop up on people's devices. And everybody's vulnerable to this type of scam because these fake virus alerts, it doesn't matter if you're on a Mac computer, a Windows computer, your Apple device, your Android device. If you're browsing the internet, you can get one of these fake pop-ups that tricks you into calling a tech support phone number that's not real, right? And the thing about these tech support scams is it seems like the older folks are the ones that are losing the most money to this type of scam. They're falling for it the most. It does trick everybody, but We know that the older folks are getting impacted a lot by this one. So make sure that your older loved ones are aware of it. And we're going to show you some examples of this scam to give you an idea about what you're dealing with here. And also, we did a video about this as well. So all the examples we're going to share, we have a video with those same examples on our YouTube channel. If you want to review it later or send it to a loved one. But we're going to start with a few just generic examples, right? Just to show you what we're talking about, and then I'll show you some more convincing ones. So you'll be browsing the internet, mind your own business, and then boom, you get this pop-up. Warning, 5 viruses detected. Our latest scan has detected 5 viruses that may steal your personal info. And it says call us immediately at, and has a phone number, right? And then it's got all these scary threats that they claim could happen. System crashing, file deletion, theft of personal data, Wi-Fi loss, infections on your other devices, all scary stuff, right? So someone could get scared and call this number. So right off the bat, you know this is fake because it has a phone number to call. Real virus alerts won't have a phone number to call. But this is just one example. Let me show you another example of a generic alert you might get. Warning, check your computer now. Call this number immediately. Data exposed to risk. Your credit card details and banking information, your email passwords, your Facebook, your private photos, right? All scary stuff. So someone might not realize this is fake, or they might get so scared that they don't even think that's fake, and they call the number. But that's what the scammer wants. When you call that number, you'll be connected to a scammer. What's important to realize as well is that these scammers, there's call centers full of these scammers. This is what they do for a living, and they're sitting there waiting for your phone call. And this is one of those types of scams that tricks you into actually calling them. Let me show you another example. Warning, your computer may be infected. Now this one you could tell that it's a web page pop-up. You can see like the address bar across the top. So if you're computer savvy, you could tell, all right, this is just a fake web page that's designed to look like a virus alert. But to someone that's not so computer savvy, they get this pop-up. It's scary. Big capital letters, all red. Your computer may be infected. You know, to remove viruses, call tech support now. All right, but if you call them, they're connected to a scammer. So those are just a couple generic examples, just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about when I say fake virus alerts. But let me show you some more convincing ones. And these fake virus alerts, again, they lead to a tech support scam. What they're trying to do is trick you into calling this fake tech support number. This one impersonates McAfee antivirus. And it's pretty convincing. It's got the McAfee logo. It has their color theme. But it's a scam. And if the victim calls that phone number, they'll be connected to scammers. The scammers will impersonate McAfee, and then they'll ask for access to the victim's device. And you can see how this one could be convincing, especially if you already have McAfee and you get this pop-up. You just think, hey, my antivirus has warned me. But again, the big red flag is it has a phone number to call. And real virus alerts wouldn't have a phone number to call like this. Here's another example of a fake virus alert that's trying to get you, trying to lead you into a tech support scam. This one impersonates Norton by Symantec. Threats detected, has a couple viruses listed, system critically infected. If you're not able to click on this button, immediately contact support. And it's got the number listed there. Again, try to call out the number, you'll be connected to scammers. And what's kind of funny about this fake pop-up is it's actually designed for the buttons not to work. So if you're clicking on the buttons and nothing's happening, and then you read, if you're not able to click on this button, immediately contact support. It's all part of the scam. And again, it follows the same system hard drive may fail. Do not close the page until the issue is resolved. It has a scary wording and the threats on there, which could scare somebody. And they call that number. The scammers go try to get on the victim's computer. And that's one of the reasons why this type of scam is so damaging, because the goal is to get on the victim's computer. And we'll talk more about that later, but once a scammer's on a victim's computer, it's a gold mine. They have access to everything. And that's why they try to do it. Here's one that impersonates Windows Defender. Access to this PC has been blocked for security reasons. But it's not real. Contact Windows support, right? It's got the Microsoft logo. They're impersonating Microsoft, but that's not Windows support. That's actually a scam phone number. You call that, you'll be connected to a call center of scammers that want to steal your money. And one more example of a fake Windows virus alert. And again, this one impersonates Windows Defender too. And it's convincing. It's got the logos. Access to this PC has been blocked for security reasons. Contact Windows support. Again, you call, you'll be connected to a scammer. That's how they get you into these tech support scams. Now, I mentioned a little earlier about these tech support scams is that everybody's vulnerable. It doesn't matter if you're on a Windows machine, a Mac, an iPhone, an Android. And just to show you some examples of that, here's fake virus alerts as part of a tech support scam. And they're targeting Mac users. This one has the Safari browser logo in it. Your Mac computer has 13 infections. Please call tech support as soon as possible. All right, it pops up that scary warning about data at risk, credit card, email, Facebook, private photos. Your webcam could be accessed remotely by hackers. Right? All scary stuff. So someone could react quickly to this and call the number, but they'll be connected to a scammer. And again, if the virus alert has a phone number, the call it's fake. That's how you know it's a scam. Couple more examples for you here. This one impersonates AppleCare. Warning, macOS is infected with viruses and other malicious applications. Please call Apple support. But that's not their phone number. If you call that number, you'll be connected to a scammer. Got one more example to share with you about these fake virus alerts. This one impersonates Mac again. macOS is infected with spyware and other malicious applications. It has the Apple logo. Please call Apple support. If you call that number, connect to a scammer. And that's how these tech support scams work. They try to trick the victim into calling a tech support number for help. And look, something to keep in mind when it comes to tech support and letting people onto your computer. Everybody should have their computer person. And what I mean by that is maybe it's the family member that's good with computers that you call when something happens. Or maybe it's the local computer shop that you call when you need help with your computer. Or maybe it's the tech support at work that helps you with your work. Maybe you call them and they help you. But everybody should have the person that they're going to call when they need help with their computer. You should never just call a random phone number that pops up on the screen. If you get a virus warning and you're concerned that's real, your initial reaction should be, let me call my computer person. Right? Let me call my computer guy or girl and ask me if this is real. And there you go. You shouldn't be calling random numbers that pop up. And now that you know that this is a scam, now you know not to, right? So the best thing you do is kind of think of who you would call if you did get a virus alert or something goes wrong with your computer, right? Think of that person you would call, and then if you end up in a situation, don't react with fear. Just call the person that you trust to work on your computer, right? So anyway, that's tech support scams. Again, the scammers have had success. They've had a lot of success with this one, right? And a lot of the older folks are the victims. So make sure your older loved ones, or if you're the older loved ones, make sure to be aware about this one. These tech support scams and fake virus alerts. And again, we did a video about this one. All the examples we shared are in that video. So that's on our YouTube channel. You could check it out a little later. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. How are you all doing out there? Say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. I'm switching back and forth onto YouTube streams and checking the chat there. I'm not really looking at Instagram and Facebook, though, so hopefully we're still streaming over there. But hit that like button if you haven't yet. Hit that subscribe button, the follow button if you haven't yet, depending on which platform you're on here. And you can also join our free mailing list. Look, our goal is to spread awareness about scams. Trying to put something good out there so you can protect yourself, protect your loved ones. You join our free mailing list. I won't abuse the privilege, I promise, and you could always unsubscribe. But we'll keep you updated when new scams are coming out, when we post new videos, send you some reminders when we're going live. And we do this live stream every week with the goal to spread awareness. We usually kick it off at about 5:45 p.m. Eastern time, and we usually go at least 3 hours. So we're going to be on it for a couple more hours at least. Last week we went for 4 hours. Depends how active the chat gets, but if people start getting in the chat, asking questions, I'm game, Let's talk about our next scam. This scam's important to be aware of too with the holiday coming up. I'm going to talk about fake road toll scams. And this is probably one of the most common scams right now. Every week, somebody reports a new version of this scam to me. As far as we know, we believe that this scam is mainly being run out of China. At least that's what we think. And they're sending out hundreds of thousands of these fake road toll text messages, a day. Hundreds and thousands. Whoever's behind this scam is using AI to generate different versions and different text to send out. And it's definitely evolved over the past year. We actually were one of the first people to be reporting on this. We released a video late last year when this scam started popping up. But it's evolved a lot since. And I have a bunch of examples to share with you. But one of the main things to be aware of is just if you get any text messages claiming you owe a road toll, right? Or you're going to be ticketed for missing a road toll, be aware that this is an extremely, extremely common scam that's circulating right now. Don't click any links that are in that text message. Don't call any numbers that are in that text message. If you're concerned that's real, go verify directly with whatever organization is impersonating. But definitely do not trust the links that are in these text messages. I'm going to show you some examples of these. But first, let me kind of define what a road toll scam is here. Scammers impersonate road toll services, EasyPass, SunPass, Fast Track, and claim that an unpaid toll is due. Victims are usually contacted by text message or email containing a link to pay. However, the link opens a fake website designed to steal your personal or financial information entered by the victim. There never was an unpaid toll due. I said EasyPass, SunPass, Fast Track, but that's just naming a couple. At this point, this scam is impersonating so many different organizations. I did this slide towards the end of last year, and at that time, this scam was impersonating SunPass, Peach Pass, Quick Pass, Good to Go, EasyPass, Drive Easy Maryland, Fast Track, North Texas Tollway. And since then, it's impersonated even more. Easy Drive Massachusetts, it was impersonating. Now they're impersonating the DMV and Highway Patrol. So the list just goes on of all the different organizations that these scammers are impersonating and sending out these texts claiming that, who they're from. So let me show you some examples, right? Here's a text message. Pay your Fast Track lane tolls by January 24th, 2025 to avoid a fine and keep your license. You could pay at, right? And that has a link to the fake website. So it's trying to scare you. It's trying to make you think you're going to lose your license too. That's a common thread when it comes to these scammers. They want to cause fear so you react quickly. They don't want you to take time to think about it. They want you to just react quickly. Oh my God, I got a fine. I got to suspend my license. Let me click this link. But it's a scam. And you can see in this example, it actually came from a +63 international phone number prefix, right? So the text message didn't even come from a phone number in the States. That's actually +63, I think is Philippines. So these text messages that they've come from numbers outside the U.S., but they've also come from numbers inside the U.S. There's so many different variations. Here's another example. This one came from +231. I forget where that is, but again, that one's outside of the U.S. Final warning: unpaid tolls. Failure to pay $3.99 toll may result in further penalties. Deadline: March 12th, 2025. And it's got a link to a fake website that steals any information you enter. And this scam has been a big problem. The New York Thruway, they announced a warning about this, right, where they showed a fake example and a real example. Let me show you a couple more. Easy Drive Massachusetts. Reminder: your bill for $6.99 is due soon. Please visit. There's a link to the fake page to pay and avoid additional fees. And these are all examples of these fake road toll text messages. And let me know in the chat if you've received these text messages. So many people have. Every week somebody's reporting a new version of this scam to me. Here's one where they sent All it was a text message that came in with an attachment. And it was from a U.S. phone number, right? But it comes in with an attachment, which, by the way, never open attachments from unsolicited contacts, whether it's email or text message. If you weren't expecting it, don't open an attachment. But if you did open an attachment, in this case, it's a PDF file, and it claims to be a toll violation notice. And then eventually, after a page full of scary things that are going to happen, like additional fines, suspension of your vehicle registration, collections is going to come after you, affect your credit, civil or legal proceedings, right? Then they have a pay now button that takes you to the fake website that steals your information, right? So they're even sending out attachments with text messages claiming you owe a toll. Just to give you an example, what would happen if maybe you did click on that link, which you should never do, but if you did, it might take you to a website that looks like this. This one impersonates Washington State's Good to Go service. And it looks legit, right? It has their logo, their colors. It could be pretty convincing. And if you click pay, next page would look like this. But any information you enter is going to get stolen. So it's important to be aware of this type of scam. Don't trust any links that come from text messages, claiming you have an unpaid road toll. It's such a common scam right now. So many people are getting hit with this text message. And everywhere. So many different states. And explain one other thing about this. So someone who received one of these text messages, they asked me, how did they know I was in Massachusetts? Well, they didn't know you were in Massachusetts. They're just sending out so many of these text messages that impersonate a Massachusetts, Easy Drive, Massachusetts, or sending out these text messages that impersonate Florida's SunPass. It's a numbers game. They know that some of those people are going to have been in those areas, and to them, that's going to seem like, oh, I must have missed a toll. I got to pay it. To those people, it's more realistic. And the scammers notice. So it's a numbers game. They'll be sending out, let's say they send out 100 of these texts. They figure 10 of them, might have been in Florida and are likely to believe a SunPass impersonation text, right? So don't just think that I got a text message that says I missed a toll last weekend when I was in Florida. Just because it seems like it's realistic and coincidental, it's not. That's what the scammers are doing. They're sending out these text messages, and some people are going to be in the areas that they claim to be from. So any message that you're saying you owe a toll, don't trust the link. Don't call any phone numbers. Right? Go if you're concerned it's real, go find the official website of that service and look it up there. But be careful when you try to find an official website, because the scammers are putting up fake websites too. So anyway, that's a road toll scam. Extremely common right now, and you should be aware of that one. Warn your loved ones, right? Because the holidays, not the holidays, but we got the 4th of July holiday coming up, right? So it's a long holiday weekend, and people might be traveling. You might be traveling. Your loved ones might be traveling. And suddenly you get a text message claiming you missed a toll. Don't trust it just because you were traveling. A scam picks up during the holidays. The scammers know people are traveling during the holidays. Be aware. And let me know in the chat if you received any of these. The more engagement we get in the chat, people talking or clicking the react buttons, the more our content, at least we think, the algorithm will share our content more. So you can help spread awareness by clicking like. It's that easy, right? We made the video, we got the live stream going. All you got to do is click like. Now you took part in spreading awareness of these scams. If you're just joining us, welcome to the live stream. I'm Jared with ScamAware 101. Our goal is to spread awareness about common scams, and they're scams that target individuals. And that's an important detail. There's a lot of resources for business and employees and scams that are targeting companies. A lot of companies, they'll have their employees going through some kind of scam awareness training, right? But those scams are different. The scams we're focusing on are scams that target individuals, right? We're going over scams that impersonate your bank or claim that there's an arrest warrant out, or pop up a fake virus alert that say your computer's infected. All these types of scams that target individuals. Because the truth is, there's not many resources out there for individuals. Business, employees, sure, but grandma's still getting scammed, right? People are still calling grandma impersonating a family member, and the employee training isn't going to help with that. So that's our goal here. We're trying to put something good out there into the world. We have a whole bunch of videos on our YouTube channel, and we're trying to turn our website into kind of a one-stop shop / portal for scam awareness information. So join our free mailing list, and we'll send you updates. We'll let you know when we post new videos, when we make updates to the website. We have lots of good stuff coming up in the future. You could also follow us on your favorite social media platforms: Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky. Right now, we should be streaming on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube right now, which is, we just started doing that this week. Usually we just stream on YouTube. So hopefully that's all working and you're watching us on Facebook or Instagram. But even if you're not, you could add us. Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, and help us build up awareness of these scams. Oh, and you know what? We actually have a YouTube store too. You get a Scamaware 101 coffee mug. We have a few coffee mugs on there. We have mouse pads, some magnets. We picked all these items that we thought people would have in front of them, right, to remind you not to get scammed. So we envision it like you're sitting at your desk. It's early in the morning. You just filled up your Scamaware 101 travel mug or coffee mug, right? And you're about ready to click on a link that's a scam, and then you look at your coffee and go, oh, wait, Scamaware, that's right. I'm not going to fall for that. It's a constant reminder, right? So we picked out these items that we thought maybe you could keep on your desk and be reminded, though. Watch out for scams. Buy a coffee mug for that loved one that keeps on falling for the scams. Give them a mouse pad that says Scamaware on it. It's constantly reminding them when they're on the computer, be aware of scams, right? But anyway, we have that on our YouTube store. So go check that out if you want. We had a few orders, so it was pretty cool. A couple mugs got ordered, and if any of you guys are watching who ordered the mugs, we appreciate it. And plus, it helps us keep on moving forward with our mission. But I'm going to continue with the scams here. Again, we do this live stream every week. Cover about 20 different types of scams on this live stream. Show you tons of examples. Scam emails, scam text messages. We'll play you some phone calls about scams. Because awareness is key. A lot of people don't realize it. But when you get scammed out of your money, when a scammer tricks the victim into transferring their own money and withdrawing their own money, the bank is not going to cover that. These victims rarely get their funds back. Once the money's gone and provided to the scammer, it's not insured anymore. The bank's not going to cover it. You can't reverse it. You can't track where it went. These victims, they're horror stories. They really are. There's people that have lost their life savings to these scammers because they don't stop with just one bank account. They try to get into every single bank account. They try to clear out every single last penny the victim has. These scammers are ruthless. And an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure when it comes to this. Being aware of these scams before you become a victim, it's really the only way to protect your money, is being aware and not falling for these scams. So that's why scam awareness is critical. It's important. It's more important now than ever before. The scammers are using AI. Their scams are becoming more convincing and more advanced. They're cloning voices, so it doesn't even sound like someone in another country. It's wild what they're doing. And you need to stay on top of it and be aware of it. Too many innocent people are losing money to these scammers. And I don't care who you are. Like, some people think they're too smart to get scammed. That's not true. Anybody could have an off day. Maybe you just woke up, you're half asleep, maybe you got the flu or something. You're not thinking right, and boom, just fell for a scam. So it could happen to anybody. And I commend the victims that come forward and share their stories about scams. But anyway, let's keep on going with the live stream here and keep on talking about some more scams. This next scam that we're going to talk about here is a wrong number scam. We released a video about this scam, and it's our most viewed video. It went viral. We have over 99,000 views on the video So getting close to 100,000, which is amazing. Most of our videos are lucky to get like 1,000 views, and that one's about ready to crack 100,000 soon. So, but wrong number scams are extremely common. And if you've ever wondered why you get so many text messages from wrong numbers or claiming to be, oops, it was the wrong number, that's why, because it's an extremely common scam. And how it works is scammers reach out to new victims by sending text messages to random phone numbers. That means your phone number. Right? When someone replies, wrong number, the scammer attempts to continue the conversation and build a trust with the victim. As trust is gained, this type of scam evolves into a romance or pig butchering scam that ultimately steals money from the trusting victim. And, a lot of stuff we go over, it might sound far-fetched. You might say to yourself, well, how would someone ever continue a conversation with a stranger over a text? These scammers are good. They've heard every response. They do this all day long. They're basically salespeople that are scammers, right? They know what to say. And when you hear about pig butchering scams, which is when it usually ends up being like an investment scam. It's a whole fake investment thing. They trick you into investing your money, and you think you're getting gains, and they keep on tricking you to invest more and more, and they call it fattening the pig, right? And that's why it's called a pig butchering scam, because once they get as much money as they think they can get from you, suddenly you can't withdraw it or get the money back. That's when they butcher the pig. And a lot of those scams, they'll start with one of these random text messages. The scammer gets the conversation going, and then they say something like, I've been investing, I have a family member that invests, we're getting great returns, you seem like a nice person, here's how to get involved, but it's all a scam. I don't want to focus too much on the end scam, which would be the pig butchering or a romance scam, right? I want to focus more on the wrong number portion of this scam, because it basically the wrong number portion of this scam is how the new victim gets pulled in. And that's what you need to be able to recognize and avoid and be aware of. I don't even want to get to the point where suddenly it's evolving into romance or pig butchering scam, because by then it's gone too far already. You need to recognize a wrong number scam when you're being targeted by a scammer. And the thing that's tricky about these wrong number scams is they could start in any way. They could start, excuse me, is this Emma? Hey Anna, I'm Josie. Or just hi, right? It could be just any random text message that arrives to your phone. And your initial response is going to be, you're going to either reply saying, who is this? Or no, you have the wrong number. And that's what the scammer wants. They want to get that reply. Now, once you reply to them, they're going to apologize for having the wrong number. They'll give you some story. Oh, sorry, I thought this was my friend. But then they're going to say something like, you're nice. What's your name? Where are you from? How old are you? They're going to try to get information about you. And that's how the wrong number scam works. It's just a way for them to initiate the conversation, figure out who you are, and then they'll determine the best scam to go forward with. Let me show you some more examples of this wrong number scam. This one starts off with, I'm Margaret. Are you Lillian? Person replies back, I'm Izzy. I'm really sorry. I think I made a mistake between your number and Lillian's number. I hope I didn't disturb your good day. Person replies back, that's okay. At this point, there should be no more text messages going back and forth. It's been established. It's a wrong number. All right. But because it's a scammer, they're going to keep on texting. They're going to try to get information about the person. Thank you for your understanding and patience. You're a kind person. I hope you have a good day today. I'm 36 years old. Would you mind telling me your age? Right? So this example, they try to get the person's age. Let me show you another example. And by the way, the conversation continues after that. Eventually, they'll ask the victim to continue talking on WhatsApp, for example. What's up, Dave? Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Doing it a couple days early this week. Here's another example. A wrong number scam. It started off with just have a cup of coffee together, right? So somebody gets this random text message from an unknown number. Right? So they reply back, oh, who is this? Well, that's what the scammer wants. They want the victim to reply back, whether it's saying, who is this? A wrong number, right? And in this case, the person replied back, yeah, wrong number. At that point, conversation should end. Scammer keeps going. I'm sorry. I thought this was Laura's number. I think I dialed the wrong number. Hope I'm not bothering you, right? And the victim says, no, you're good. Have a great day. Always smile, blah, blah, blah. right? But the conversation keeps going. The scammer's going to be like, thank you for your kindness to my situation. I just realized I entered the wrong area code. Where are you from? Right? So the last example asked the person's age. This one's asking where you're from. Eventually, they're going to try to get all that information from the victim. Here's another example of wrong number scam. This one just started with hi, right? And the person replies back, hi, who is this? And that's the trick. That's the goal of the scammer. They want to get you to reply. Because even if you reply back and then say nothing else after that, you're still letting the scammer know that you have an active phone number, you're reading the text messages, you're replying back. They'll target you with more scams. They'll send you text messages from different numbers, and they'll target you even more if they know you're reading and replying. But again, back to this example, right? It starts off with hi. Reply back, hi, who is this? Person replies, hi, Karina, are you David? We met last week at Linda's party, and you picked this number for me, right? They always have some story about how they got your number or met somebody that gave them this number. And reply back, hi, sorry, you have the wrong number. At that point, conversation should end, but the scammer replies, oh my gosh, I checked and found out I entered the wrong area code. A lot of times they say it's wrong area code. I hope this doesn't bother you. All right, victim replies back, that's okay, no problem. Again, conversation should end at that point. But the scammer keeps going, and they say, thank you very much. You're a very friendly and polite person. I hope we could be friends. Nice to meet you. My name is Karina. What can I call you? Replied back, Pat. Figured it could be a male or female, so caused a little confusion. But the scammer said, you have a beautiful name. I'm from Malaysia and currently living in Los Angeles. Where do you live? And we cut off the conversation because we got far enough in the example. But you can see in all the examples we showed, they're going to ask your name, they're going to ask where you're from, they're going to ask your age, and they're going to try to determine the best scam to target you with, which usually ends up being some kind of investment, pig butchering scam, a romance scam. The best thing you could do with these wrong number scams is not even reply. Even if you're not sure if it's a scam or not, if you just get a random message that doesn't seem to be anybody you know or makes sense, don't even reply. Because you're letting the scammer know that you're at least reading and replying to the texts. If it's a legit wrong number, they'll figure it out. Which is tough because, we want to be kind. We want to let the person know that, but that's what scammers rely on now. It's one of those situations where you can't really reply back to somebody telling them it's wrong number. Just ignore it. Another example. This might be why I got 100,000 views on the video, because I used this as a thumbnail. But this is another example of a wrong number text message. And in this example, they actually include a picture. Right? So the message comes in and says, hi, Byron, I'm Jane. And it has a picture of a woman attached to it. This one actually came to me. Knew it was a scam. So obviously I'm not going to reply. But 4 hours, exactly 4 hours after the initial message came in, get a follow-up message. Have you gotten the pictures I sent? Right? So there's a couple things to take from this example. One, they're attaching pictures. They try and give more of an incentive to trick somebody to reply. Right? But two, this isn't a real person just sitting there sending text messages. These are bots. These are automated. It starts off as a bot. Eventually you'll be connected to a scammer. But this bot is programmed to send out the text message, hi, Byron, I'm Jane. Right? And if it doesn't get a reply in 4 hours, it sends out the follow-up. Have you gotten the pictures I sent? At 4 hours on the dot. Right? And that's how these bots work. And that's what you're up against. There's hundreds of thousands of these text messages going out. They're bots. They're not even people. So the best thing you could do is not reply back, especially when you could tell it's a scam, which in this case, it's definitely a scam. And you should report it. You should report it as junk or block it. In the video we released about this scam, the one that's got over 99,000 views, there were quite a few comments left on that video. And a lot of people said they got this exact same text message, exact same picture. Right? Hi, Byron, I'm Jane. And then the same woman in the picture. Right? So it's a very common scam. Lots of people are getting hit with the exact same text message. It's a numbers game. They just try to send out as many of these scam text messages as possible. And they just know some people are going to reply or fall for it. So that's a wrong number scam. And again, the wrong number portion, that's how they pull you in with the wrong number portion, and then it evolves into a different type of scam, whether it's a pig butchering scam or a romance scam. So be aware of these wrong number scams. Again, the best thing you could do, you get these text messages, just don't reply. And if you could tell right off the bat that's a scam, block it, report it as junk. And be aware. How are we all doing out there? Let me know you're watching. Say hi in the chat. We're almost getting up to our first hour here, but that's all good. We got a couple more hours to go, at least. Lots of good stuff to cover. We're actually right on track. Usually I take a coffee break. Well, it's a little early, so I'm going to do that a little later here. I think I'm still good on coffee. So we're going to do red flags first. All right, cool. All right, if you're just joining, welcome to the live stream. I'm Jared with Scamware 101. We do this live stream every week to spread awareness of common scams so you can protect yourself and your loved ones from becoming a victim. Awareness is key in avoiding these scams. The sooner you recognize a scam and cut off the scammer, the better. A lot of times, by the time a victim sends money or falls for the scam, it's too late. A lot of times you can't get that money back ever again. So awareness is key. Spotting these scams as soon as possible before you send any money is critical. And the way you're going to do that is through awareness. So we do this live stream every week. We also release videos on our YouTube channel. So definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't yet. We've got some good videos on there. A lot of the scams we're talking about this evening, we have videos about them. So you could go check them out later or share them with a loved one. You can follow us on your favorite social media platforms. We're trying something new tonight. We're actually streaming. We usually just stream on YouTube. We got 2 different YouTube streams going, a vertical one and a widescreen one. But we also have the stream going on Facebook and Instagram, or at least it should still be going on Facebook and Instagram. Maybe I'll take a look and see if it is. Might pop it up. See here. I just don't want to slow down the... Oh, wow. So we look like we're still going on Instagram. But Facebook is not. Ooh. Let me see if I get this Facebook one going again. Tell you what, bear with me 2 minutes, guys. I'm just going to see if I get this Facebook stream going. I wonder what happened. Just bear with me 2 more minutes here. I just want to see if I get this going. Thanks, Dave. Always good to see you. Yeah, it took forever for us to reach the followers on Facebook we needed to live stream. So this is the first week that we attempt to do the live stream here on Facebook. One other thing here. Sorry guys, just give me 1 minute. In the meantime, say hi in the chat. Let me know what scams you've encountered. Hit that like button. Definitely want to hear your stories. Tell us what scams you've been encountering. What red flags you've seen. There we go. Got the stream going on Facebook again here. Okay. Going live on Facebook again. Live video starting. Okay, cool. So it looks like the Facebook. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Looks like we're live again on Facebook. Instagram is still going. Still on YouTube. We got YouTube running. We got some chat and YouTube going. Thanks, Bull. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for coming on. We're just about ready to get into our red flags. Since that Facebook stream is fixed. All right. So let's talk about some common red flags to recognize a scam or realize that you're dealing with a scammer. Oh, and before we do that, just want to address the chat here. Dave mentioned he received a fake PayPal invoice today by email. Yep, that's an extremely common one. Thank you for bringing that one up. As far as email scams go, anything that's claimed to be from PayPal, be suspicious, because that's a common company that scammers like to impersonate. They'll impersonate PayPal. They'll say you sent the payment and try to trick you into calling a number. And we're actually going to talk about that type of scam in a little bit. It's called a fake order scam. But before we do that, let's dive into these red flags. Explain how to identify some common red flags that you're dealing with a scammer. And one of the things about these red flags is we listen to victims' stories, right? And we hear what happened to them. And I commend them for coming forward. A lot of victims are embarrassed or ashamed and they don't come forward. And but it's important to come forward and to share your stories, because we hear these victims' stories, and a lot of times there's these common threads, these common red flags, where if they were aware of them at the time, it could have prevented the whole scam. Right, so we compiled these 5 red flags to watch out for that indicate you could be dealing with and talking to a scammer. We also have a video with these red flags on our YouTube channel. So if you want to share it with a loved one later or review it again later, we do have the red flags video on our YouTube channel. So, but these common red flags, if they're aware of them, it could make all the difference, right? So let's talk about these red flags that if you see any of them, if you come across any of them, or if a loved one tells you about any of these, it indicates it's a scam. You need to stop, reanalyze the situation, maybe talk to somebody. But be aware, these are going to be common red flags that indicate you're dealing with a scammer. So let's start with red flag number 1. They direct you to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. Scammers love using third-party chat apps. It's easier to communicate with victims in other countries, and they offer more anonymity for the scammer to hide behind. Because these scammers, they're dealing with victims all over the world, right? They're not going to sit there wanting to do text messaging back and forth. They redirect the victim to continue talking on Telegram and WhatsApp. And some scams where this is part of the playbook is romance scams. Scammers will create fake dating profiles to lure in new victims. Then, once they're talking to their victims on the dating app or the dating website, they'll direct them to continue talking on WhatsApp. That's a big red flag. Why don't they give you their local phone number, their real phone number? No, could be legit, but we know scammers, they use WhatsApp and they want to redirect people there. So if you're on a dating website, the person you're talking to is trying to direct you to WhatsApp, just be suspicious. It could be a scammer. Wrong number scams, right? We just talked about those. I showed you a bunch of examples of those wrong number text messages. And how that works, right, is that the text message is probing for victims, new victims. The ones who reply, they'll gather information, but then the scammer will try to direct them to continue talking on WhatsApp. Investment scams. They'll direct the victim to a Telegram or WhatsApp group to pump up an investment or appear more legit. A lot of victims don't realize it. They get added to these Telegram or WhatsApp groups, and there's a whole bunch of bots in there. Or it's just a bunch of other scammers that are making it look like there's interest in this investment. But it's a scam. You need to be aware of it and watch out for it. And that's red flag number 1. The 5 red flags we're going to talk about this evening. And in the meantime, let me know in the chat, what red flags have you encountered? I want to hear your stories. We're going to be coming out with a second video with 5 more red flags. So let me know what other red flags you encounter. Maybe I'll include it in our next video. Let's talk about red flag number 2. They're dealing with a scammer. This is a big one. They request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, or depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM. So these scammers love these unusual forms of payments. It's easier for them to move and transfer the funds, and it's also harder for victims to recover the money after it's been sent. Right? So almost all of these victim stories, you hear that eventually at some point they tell the victim to go purchase gift cards, or they tell the victim to purchase cryptocurrency, or they tell the victim to go deposit money at a Bitcoin ATM. All these are red flags. If you hear any mention about gift cards, especially a Bitcoin ATM, they're all red flags and you need to reanalyze the situation. Some scams where it's part of the playbook to use these unusual forms of payments, honestly, pretty much almost all of them, but some of the more well-known examples, IRS and Social Security scams. Scammers impersonate government agencies and they ask for payment in gift cards or cryptocurrency. And as of right now, the government does not accept cryptocurrency or gift cards as payment. Right? So if anybody's calling you or claiming to be with the IRS or Social Security or any other government organization, if they're trying to get you to pay with gift cards or cryptocurrency, it's a scam. Don't trust it. Big red flag. Romance scams again. Scammers will request gift cards and cryptocurrency from their emotionally attached victim. You know, their victim thinks that they're just sending gift cards to someone that they're in a relationship with, right? Or a lot of times the scammers will tell victims, I set up a cryptocurrency account for us, so deposit money into there and we'll use the money together. But it's all a scam to trick the victim into sending gift cards, cryptocurrency, and not being able to get it back from the scammer. Bank impersonation scams. Talked about those earlier. And the victims are tricked into withdrawing cash from the bank and purchasing gift cards, usually, as instructed by the scammers. So anybody calling you impersonating or claiming to be with the bank, telling you to withdraw your money, don't trust it. If they're telling you to purchase gift cards, don't trust it. Bitcoin, don't trust it. We just know that scammers love these types of payments. So if someone's approaching you and contacting you and eventually trying to get you to purchase gift cards, cryptocurrency, be aware that scammers love that type of stuff, and you should set off a red flag. Hey, Katie. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a couple weeks. Oh, awesome. You ordered some merchandise. You know, I saw an order, and I was wondering who ordered it because I didn't see any of the information. It gets all handled automatically. So that's great. That was you. Awesome. Thank you so much for purchasing the, right, it was a magnet and a mug, right? And I think a couple stickers, if that's the right order. Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's good to see you today. I guess that's a good time to mention before we go into red flag number 3. If you just joined us, we do have a YouTube store, and in the store we have some coffee mugs available, mouse pads, magnets, all things that you're kind of able to keep in front of you and see and be reminded to be scam aware. Watch out for these scams. We have a few pieces of merchandise for sale on our YouTube channel, so check that out a little later. Katie said she loves it, so thank you so much. Let's talk about red flag number 3. They ask you to provide a code that was sent to your phone by text message. And this is a common scam. What's actually happening is a lot of times the scammer is trying to open an account attached to your phone number, or log into an account attached to your phone number, or trying to reset passwords to an account attached to your phone numbers. Usually some type of scam going on in the background if somebody's asking you to provide them a code that was sent to your phone. This type of scam is most common on marketplace type websites like Facebook and Instagram. Not Instagram, sorry. Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. So used to saying Facebook and Instagram, right? But this type of scam is common on marketplace type websites. The scammer impersonates a buyer or a seller. They say that they want to confirm that your phone number is real. and they'll say they're going to send you a code. But what they're really doing is trying to log into your bank account or create an account, attach your phone number. And if you reply with that code, you're going to let them. Some scams where that's part of the playbook, sending the victim a code and asking them to reply with it. They ask account login attempts. Right? Let's talk about that a little more. The scammer's trying to log into one of your accounts. You get a code sent to your phone by that account as a security measure. And the idea is to prevent that scammer from getting in. But if you give that code to him, you let the scammer into your account. Password reset requests. Again, the scammers could be trying to reset one of your passwords. A code gets sent to your phone as a security measure. But if you give that code to the scammer, you're allowing them to reset your password and then essentially access your accounts. And then another common scam that uses this are Google Voice scams. So providing the code to somebody, a scammer will try to create a Google Voice account, and they'll try to attach it to your phone number. If you provide the code to a scammer, you're allowing your phone number to be attached to their Google Voice account. What's interesting about this type of scam is that you get a free phone number with Google Voice account. So a lot of times they'll use your phone number to register just so they can get that free phone number from Google Voice. And then sometimes they'll remove your phone number from the account after. The goal for them is to get this free phone number, and they need unique phone numbers to get that free phone number. A little confusing. Don't want to get off topic. The whole point is, if somebody sends you a message telling you to reply with a code, don't trust it. There's so many scams, and tell them to find some other way to verify your information. Or actually, don't trust it at all. I mean, don't even, once someone does that, don't even interact with them at that point. It's a scam. They already tried to scam you once. Don't trust them. So that's red flag number 3. Somebody provides a code and they tell you to provide it back on your phone. If you just joined us, welcome to the live stream. I'm Jared with Scamware 101. We do this live stream every week. Our goal is to spread awareness about common scams so you can protect yourself and your loved ones from becoming a victim. We also release scam awareness videos. So make sure to check out our YouTube channel. You can subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. If you're just joining, hit that like button in the chats. The more likes we get, the more subscribers we get, the more awareness we can spread. So you could help by clicking that thumbs up button, clicking that like, clicking follow, clicking subscribe, wherever you're watching us. We're on all your favorite social media platforms: Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky. We're doing something a little different this week. We're streaming on Instagram and Facebook as well as YouTube. The Facebook stream crashed a little earlier. Don't know why, but we got it up and going again. I'm not really monitoring the chat in Facebook on Instagram, though. So if you want to ask questions or comment, hop on over to YouTube, and I'm monitoring the YouTube streams we have and the chats in there. I'm doing my best to answer everybody. So if you want to chat or say hi, hop on over to our YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe and head on into one of the live chats we got going on. Also, you join our free mailing list on scamaware101.com. Hit join mailing list. It's free to join. We'll send you reminders when we're going live and some other useful scam awareness tips. All right, let's get back to these red flags here. So we're going over some common red flags that you're dealing with a scammer. And again, these red flags, they pop up in all the victim stories. A lot of times one of these red flags appeared, and the victim just wasn't aware of it, and it happens. So it's key to be aware of these red flags. This way you can spot a scam, recognize a scam before you get any money stolen and become a victim. Right? So let's talk about red flag number 4. They ask to connect to your PC to assist or investigate an issue. Look, scammers love to get onto a victim's PC. It's a gold mine for them, right? They could steal the victim's logins and passwords. They could steal or encrypt the victim's files, right? Hold them for ransom or blackmail them. They can attempt to access online banking websites and other financial information on the victim's PC. They can install software and access the PC later when the victim's not using it, right? So scammers love to get onto victims' PCs. And where that's part of the playbook, some scams are as part of the playbook. Tech support scams. That was one of the scams we talked about earlier in the live stream. It's when those fake virus alert pops up. They trick a victim into calling a fake tech support number, and the scammer asks to access their PC. But it's a scam. Once the scammer gets on their PC, it's all bad news. Fake order scams. We're going to talk about those in a little bit. But the scammer impersonates customer support, assisting with an order, with an order dispute. And they'll ask to access the victim's PC a lot of times to help review the order. But it's all scam. They're just trying to get access to the victim's PC. And we'll talk about that scam a little bit more too. But the red flag to be aware of is they want to access your PC. We got the fake fraudulent activity. That's when the scammer impersonates an agency investigating fraud. And they'll ask to access your PC. And once they're on, they'll tell you to log into your bank accounts and they're going to help you review for suspicious activity. But it's all a part of the scam. They want to get onto your PC. They want to try to get into your banking websites that you've accessed on that PC. You never want to let these scammers onto your device. And I mentioned this earlier when we were talking about tech support scams, but I'm going to mention it again for those that weren't on the stream yet. When it comes to letting someone access your PC, it should only be people you know and trust, right? Everybody should have someone already in mind that they would go to with a computer issue, whether it's that family member that's good with computers or the tech support or the computer shop down the street or the tech support department at your work. You should have in mind who you're going to go to with an issue on your computer. This way, when a scammer's trying to convince you to get onto your PC for whatever reason, no, that's okay. I'll talk to my computer guy, right? It shouldn't even cross your mind to let these people onto your PC. Only let trusted people that you know onto your devices. So that's red flag number 4. They ask to connect to your PC to assist or investigate an issue. Okay, we're not going to live stream tomorrow. I bumped up this week's live stream to Wednesday just because of the holiday. I figured a lot of people might be starting their holiday weekend early on Thursday, and so I just bumped it up a day early. Usually we do these live streams on Thursdays at 5:45 p.m., but we bumped up a day early this week because of the holiday. So, but next week we'll be back to the Thursday schedule, and then later in the month, I think we're doing a Tuesday because I'm actually going to be away on that Thursday. So, but all those changes, though, we have them listed on the website here, which, by the way, on our website, view event calendar. You can view when we have all our upcoming live streams. That one I'm talking about is going to be July 15th, which I believe is a Tuesday instead of a Thursday. But all the other ones, we're back to our usual Thursday schedule, 5:45 p.m. Eastern. We also have the events on our Facebook page as well, so you could go into there and keep track of any changes to dates and RSVP to an event there. And while you're on the website, make sure to click Join Mailing List. It's free to join. We'll send you some useful scam awareness tips and reminders when we're going live. All right, our last red flag out of the 5 red flags we were going to talk about. They request that you keep the matter confidential or secret. Very common for scammers to ask for confidentiality. They don't want you to discuss the situation with other people, because the more people you talk to about the scam or the situation, the more likely you are to realize or be told, hey, this is a scam, I wouldn't trust it, right? So the scammers want you to keep quiet. They try to convince you to keep the matter confidential or the matter secret. And we see that a lot in these scams. And we're going to be showing you some more examples later of scams where that red flag sticks out. But some examples of scams where that's part of the playbook, where they request you to keep the matter confidential or secret. We got grandparent scams. We're going to go over that one later as well. But that's when a scammer impersonates a relative claiming to be arrested and needing financial help. But they say that the relative is embarrassed and you're asked not to tell anybody. Right? That's the fake story they give you to try to keep you quiet. But that's the red flag. They're trying to keep you quiet and not tell anybody what's going on. Because somebody might point out, hey, that's a common scam. Investment scams. They'll say they have an inside tip and not to share it with anybody, or that a price is just for you. Don't tell anybody. But that's a red flag. They're asking you to keep it secret because they don't want you to talk to people and realize it's a scam. Right? Inheritance scams. We have an example of this one later on too. They'll mail actual letters impersonating law offices regarding a fake inheritance. And a letter will request confidentiality. Right? We actually have an example of that one to show you a little later too when we talk about some snail mail scams later on. And then we have the fake fraudulent activity. Right? And that's when the scammer impersonates an agency investigating fraud or a bank. Right? And they'll tell you that you need to keep it confidential. Otherwise, you could hurt the investigation. Right? But that's all part of the scam narrative. That's how they're going to try to convince you to stay quiet. Right? So that's a big red flag. When they request you to keep a matter confidential or secret, be suspicious. So those are 5 red flags that you're dealing with a scammer. Again, we did a video about that, and we have it on our YouTube channel. So make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And later on, if you want to go share the 5 red flags with a loved one, we have a video specifically about that with these same slides that we just went over. But for anybody just joining us a little late, let me just quick summarize what those 5 red flags were. Right? Red flag number 1 was the scammer directs you to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. All right? Scammers love these third-party chat apps. They don't want to be sitting there texting back and forth. They want to use a chat app. So if you're talking to somebody, try to redirect you to Telegram or WhatsApp. Those are the big ones. It's a red flag. Be suspicious. Red flag number 2, they request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, or depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM. This red flag is huge. So many scams, the scammers want you to purchase gift cards because they get the funds immediately and you can't do anything once they're sent, right? So any mention of gift cards is a red flag. Telling the victim to go to a Bitcoin ATM, depositing money at a Bitcoin ATM, or purchasing cryptocurrency, red flag, red flag, red flag, right? Unusual forms of payments are red flags. We know scammers love receiving gift cards and crypto. Red flag number 3, they ask you to provide a code that was sent to your phone via text message. It's a common scam. Sometimes they'll say that they're just trying to verify your phone number, but a lot of times it's a scam. They're trying to get into one of your accounts and they want you to send a code to allow them to do so. So if someone's trying to send you a code, we see this one a lot on merchant type websites or marketplace type websites, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. Don't provide that code to them. It's a scam. Red flag number 4, they ask to connect to your PC to assist or investigate an issue. Right? We mentioned this a few times so far in the live stream this evening. Scammers love getting onto your device. It's a gold mine for them. A lot of times they could just extract any saved passwords you have, steal your files. It's no good. You don't want to let these scammers onto your computer. They'll try to get you to access your bank accounts and they'll try to steal everything you have. Right? So if someone's trying to access your PC, even if it seems like to assist or investigate an issue, if you don't know them, don't trust them. Right? You should only let specific people that you know and trust on your PC. Definitely don't call any random numbers over the internet and let people on your computer. So that's red flag number 4. They try to access your PC to assist or investigate an issue. And the last red flag was they request you to keep the matter confidential or secret. Right? They don't want you talking to anybody. The more people you talk to, the more likely you are to be told it's a scam. Right? So they want you to keep it secret. They'll have a whole bunch of BS stories to tell you to try and convince you to keep it secret. But the reality is it's a red flag and you should stop and reanalyze what's going on when you come across it. So that's it. 5 red flags that you're dealing with a scammer. All right, cool. Moving along here. How's everybody doing out there? Say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. We're doing something a little new this week. We're streaming on Instagram and Facebook, along with YouTube. Usually we just do YouTube, but we're streaming on Facebook, Instagram. Both those streams still seem like they're up. Cool. Facebook one stopped early for some reason or crashed earlier, but we got it back up and running. So I am not monitoring the chats, though, on Instagram and Facebook. I'm only monitoring the ones on YouTube right now. So if you want to ask a question or want to comment, hop on over to YouTube and join our live stream over there, and Say hi in the chat. Ask your question in the chat. I'll be happy to answer you. Make sure to like and subscribe when you're over there. You join our free mailing list, scamaware101.com, and hit join mailing list. We'll send you some useful scam awareness tips, reminders about when we're going live, let you know when we post new videos. All right, we won't abuse the privilege. And you can unsubscribe at any time, but it's the best way for us to get a hold of you and keep you in the loop. Again, we won't send you any junk mail or anything like that. When you join the mailing list, make sure to check your junk folder because we do send a confirmation link. So you have to click the confirmation link and to get added. And follow us on your favorite social media: Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, YouTube. We're Scamaware 101 on all of them. But if you can't find us, we have links right here on our homepage, linking to each official social media page we have. And definitely make sure to join the free mailing list while you're there. So yeah, we do this live stream every week, usually on Thursdays. Doing it a little earlier this week because of the holiday. We go over 20 different types of scams. 20 different types of scams, and we show you different examples of scam emails, scam text messages. We'll play you some phone calls of scams. We even go over some snail mail scams, traditional postal mail, too. So we got a couple more hours left of this live stream, at least another hour and a half, maybe two and a half to go. And we're going to keep on going, especially if we get people interacting in the chat, saying hello. But right now, we need to take the quick 5-minute coffee break. We usually take a break every hour, half or so. Just get that coffee cup filled back up. Need to stay awake and alert so I can give you the best version of me. And by the way, you can purchase a Scamaware coffee mug on our YouTube channel. We have a YouTube store now. We have some Scamaware 101 coffee mugs and mouse pads and a couple other useful scam awareness merchandise. So help support the mission by mug and mouse pad. We got stickers on there. All cool stuff. On that note, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break, refill that Scamaware 101 coffee mug, and then we're going to dive into some more common scams. And here's some of my favorite scams to go over. We got a fascinating video of a grandparent scam to show you. We have a whole bunch of examples of fake order scams, which is a really common scam right now. Important to be aware of. Undeliverable package scam, which we're seeing more of those now. Fake retail websites, all good stuff to be aware of and know about. And again, all these examples we share, most of them are recent. Most of them are only a few months old. Almost all of them are less than a year old. So, all active scams, all circulating now, all important to be aware of. But let's take a quick 5-minute break, refill that coffee cup. Say hi in the chat if you haven't yet. Hit that like button if you haven't yet. Let us know you're watching. And I'll be back in 5 minutes to continue with this, your number one source for scam awareness. Tips and protection, right? So stay tuned. Talk to you soon. 5 minutes. Be back. All right. We're going to keep rolling here. All right, cool. We're still good on Facebook, still good on Instagram, still good on YouTube. Excellent. All right, we're going to get started with the second portion of our live stream here. About an hour and a half in so far. Got at least another hour and a half to go. Lots of good stuff coming up for you. So even if you missed the last hour or so of the live stream, that's okay. We've still got plenty more coming up for you. And we're going to dive into some more common scams shortly. But first, again, if you're just joining us, I'm Jared, Scamware 101. We do this live stream every week to spread awareness of common scams so you can protect yourself and your loved ones from these scams. Because too many people are losing money to these scammers. They're winning. The scammers are winning, people. You know, scammers are winning. And we have to act as a community and keep each other safe and spread awareness of these scams. Because that's the only way you're going to protect yourself is being aware. You're either aware or you're vulnerable, right? So try and do our part here. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. We post scam awareness videos and a lot of scams we're going to be talking about this evening on a live stream. We have videos covering them. So definitely go subscribe to our YouTube channel. And make sure to join our free mailing list. We'll send you some scam awareness tips. You go to scamware101.com and click join mailing list. You can unsubscribe at any time. We won't abuse the privilege. We just send out reminders letting you know when we're going live. We'll keep you updated when we add new content. All good stuff. And you can follow us on our favorite social media platforms. Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky. The more followers, the more likes we get, the more the algorithm will share our content. So you could help spread awareness of these scams simply by clicking the like, subscribe, and follow buttons. Tonight we are streaming on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for the first time. Usually we just do YouTube, but now we're on Facebook and Instagram too. I'm not monitoring those chats though, so if you want to ask a question or a comment, hop on over to the YouTube channel and you could chat in there and I'll probably reply. And if you want to help out financially, you can donate at scamware101.com/donate. You can scan that QR code on your screen or just go directly to the URL. And on YouTube, we do have the super thanks option enabled, so you could hit us with a super thanks if you want. Don't feel obligated. You know, we're happy just to get a like or a subscribe from you, but we'll take any financial help we can get too. If you want to support a good cause. Now, with that said, let's get back into some common scams here. So the next scam we're going to talk about is a grandparent scam. This is when scammers impersonate a distressed relative claiming to have been arrested and needing financial help. Victims, usually seniors, act quickly to assist their loved ones. The scammers will often impersonate law enforcement, court personnel, and lawyers to extract even more money from the victim. Right? And these grandparent scams, these are the type of scam that everybody should be outraged about because they're targeting our parents and our grandparents, right? And they're using you as bait. And you might ask yourself, well, what, these scammers are going to impersonate me? Or you might think to yourself, I'll be able to recognize if it's really my kid or not. But maybe not. And we actually have a video here to share with you about a grandparent scam. And it actually shows one of these scammers on their webcam. And you hear the victim and you see them doing the impersonation. It's a fascinating video. So we're going to take a look at that right now. I'm going to give you a little bit of background before we start here. But basically, in this case, this scammer is from the Dominican Republic. And this grandparent scam is actually a very common scam in the Dominican Republic. And the scammer we're about to watch now, he's known as an opener. Right? Because sometimes scammers will work in teams. They'll have openers, they'll have closers. And in this guy's case, he's an opener. He's the one that reaches out to the grandparent. He impersonates the loved one that's in trouble. He impersonates the police officer, right? And then he hands off the scam to the closers. So what we're going to watch is the opener. And in this video, what's fascinating is there's one of those scam baiters on YouTube, right? And his name is Scam Sandwich. Silly name, but Scam Sandwich. You go look him up on YouTube. He's got a cool channel. But he actually hacked into this scammer's webcam, and he recorded this scammer doing a grandparent scam. So we actually get to see what's going on. We get to see what these scammers are doing and how they actually impersonate your loved one and how someone could fall for this. All right, so let's take a look at this video and let me know in the chat if you've encountered this. Sometimes I've had the stream lag when I'm playing the video. I think it was good last week. We'll see how it is this week. But if it lags, just hang in there. I'll stop once the video's done. But I think we'll be good. So again, this is a grandparent scammer. He was located in Dominican Republic. And this is him being recorded on his webcam while he's trying to scam a victim. All right, so let's take a listen to that. And let me know in the chat if you're watching and what you think. And hi Lane, welcome to the chat. I see you in there.
Oh, Mom, I had a car accident.
Huh?
I had a car accident, Mom.
Is this Linda?
It's me, Linda.
Where are you?
I got a car accident.
What happened?
I'm gonna put the officer on. I got arrested.
You got arrested?
Hi, ma'am.
Yes.
Hi, are you Linda's mom?
Yes.
What I'm gonna need you to do is grab a pen and paper and write down Linda's case number, ma'am. I need you to hurry up, please, ma'am.
Case number?
It's the number 2.
2?
The letter B as in boy. Can you read that back to me?
2, B.
Now, I'm gonna read what's going on, ma'am, okay?
Okay.
Linda was involved in a car accident. It was stated in the police report. She admitted that was her fault. While she was driving, she was using her phone. That's what caused the accident, ma'am, okay?
Oh, man.
The woman that was driving the other vehicle was 7 months pregnant. We had to rush her into the nearby hospital. She might lose her baby.
Oh, really?
Yes. Now, we actually confiscated her cell phone for legal evidence, so she cannot receive or cannot make calls. This is going to be her only last call. Are you with me, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
Now, she actually wrote a note down here saying that she didn't want anyone to know about this. Let's honor her wish for right now because it's too much for her right now. That's what she's saying.
Okay.
What I'm going to need you to do, ma'am, is stay by the phone and wait for the lawyer to call, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye, ma'am.
All right, bye.
The next.
So that was an actual scammer in the Dominican Republic performing one of these grandparent scams. It was recorded by a YouTuber. It goes by the name Scam Sandwich. So check out his channel for the full video. The full video is fascinating. That's just a short clip, to give you an example. But the full video is fascinating. And just so you're aware, the victim in this video, he was able to reach her and warn her that this was a scam. So the victim in this case didn't lose anything. But what's important to recognize about that video is, do you see how a victim could be tricked into thinking that was their loved one? The scammer calls up and he impersonates a loved one, but he's crying. He's crying. It's a real quick conversation. Mom, I'm in trouble. And then he hands over the phone. He starts impersonating the cop, right? So the victim doesn't even have a real much of a chance to even determine if that's really her kid. He just hears someone upset, crying. It could be their kid, right? And the next thing you know, she's talking to a cop in her head, right? So the scammer impersonates the cop too. He goes from immediately impersonating the kid to impersonating a cop. He has police scanners playing in the background to make it sound like he's in a police station. And did you notice the red flag where he says, your daughter has requested not to tell anybody about this, so let's respect her wishes. Right? That's the red flag for the request for secrecy that we mentioned earlier. Right? And he also told the victim, I've confiscated her phone. And that's intended to dissuade the victim from trying to reach her daughter. So it's very tricky. You could see how this script could be believable, especially to someone older who's not aware of this type of scam. So again, that guy that we watched is from the Dominican Republic, and he was known as an opener, right? And then he tells her after he's done doing his thing, he tells her to stand by, and then that's when he hands it off to the closers. The closers will call the victim back. And let me tell you something about these scammers, why it's so important to be aware of this one, right? When the closers call back, they don't stop until they have all the victim's money. They continue to impersonate all different offices or contacts that need more money. They'll impersonate defense attorneys, and then once they get as much money as they can, they'll impersonate court personnel, and they try to get more money. They'll impersonate police officers. They'll try to get more money. They'll just keep on making up agencies and people to impersonate until the victim has no money left. So these scammers are ruthless, and it's important to be aware of this type of scam. And you can understand how someone older might get extremely nervous. They get a call like this. Oh my God, my loved one's in trouble. And that's what these scammers do. They try to get a reaction as quickly as possible. They'll use fear. They'll use shock. Right? And that's their goal here. And that's what they do with these grandparent scams. So they're attacking your grandparents. They're attacking your parents. They're attacking your grandparents. Make sure that their loved ones are aware of this. If you're the parents, if you're the grandparents, you should be aware of this. If you get a call like this claiming to be your kid, be suspicious. Like every other call, ask where they're calling from, say thank you, and hang up. And if you want, you can reach out directly. If you think it's a legit thing, you can try reaching out directly to whoever they claim to be from. Don't trust any phone numbers they give you. Try to get a hold of your loved one, even though they said that your loved one doesn't have a phone. Ignore them. Try to reach them anyway. Right? These grandparent scams, they're out there. They're good at it. They're good at what they do, and people are falling for them. There's this news article that I have attached here about these grandparent scams, specifically about the scam that was running out of the Dominican Republic, where this scammer was located. I just want to read a couple notes from this article about this, because it gives you a peek and explains a few things more about this scam, and along with a peek behind the scenes. But NJ Federal Court charges 3 additional Dominicans in grandparent scam. This was from August 6, 2024, so it's less than a year old. According to an indictment, the conspirators engaged in a long-running grandparent or family in need of bail scam against hundreds of seniors across the United States, including New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, and Massachusetts. As detailed in court filings, member of the conspiracy referred to as openers, and that's who we just watched in that video, he was an opener, called elderly victims in the United States and impersonated the victim's children, grandchildren, or other close relatives. Typically, the victim was told that their grandchild had been in a car accident, was arrested in connection with an accident, and needed help. Right? And that was the exact narrative that we just watched this scammer do. Once openers tricked victims into believing their loved ones were in dire trouble, others working at the call centers, known as closers, allegedly impersonated defense attorneys, police officers, or court personnel and convinced victims to provide thousands of dollars in cash to help their loved ones. All right, so this is a big scam. It's common out there. I don't know if the guy in this video was one of the people that were indicted, but he was working out of the Dominican Republic, and that's where the scam was coming out of. So, also keep in mind, these scammers can manipulate the caller ID. We mentioned that earlier, and a few of the other scams we talked about. Scammers can manipulate the caller ID. So when they're calling and impersonating police stations or sheriff's offices, they'll show that number on caller ID. You can't trust it just because of caller ID seems to support their who they're saying they are. But caller ID, scammers manipulate it. We know they do it. Can't trust it. You have to hang up and verify directly. You can't trust caller ID. But anyway, that's a grandparent scam. Watch out for them. Be aware of them. Make sure your grandparents and parents are aware of them. What they say, what the official action is supposed to be, is you're supposed to think of like a password or passphrase to use with your loved ones in case the situation ever does arise where you need to verify you are who you are. So maybe a secret question or phrase or something like that. That's how they say. That's what they say you should have in these situations. No, it's not great. I wish there was more I could tell you, but this type of scam, you kind of have to rely on that. The next scam we're going to talk about is fake order scams. And this one's important to be aware of, just like all the other scams. But this one, we're actually being targeted from all directions, right? This type of scam, we're getting targeted with phone calls, we're getting targeted with text messages, we're getting targeted with emails. This type of scam is extremely common, and it's coming from all directions. So you need to be aware of it. And it's a tricky scam, these fake order or fake purchase scams. And basically what it is, victims receive a fake notification that an order was made under their account. When the victim calls to dispute the fake order, a scammer impersonates customer support and attempts to steal their personal and financial information. There's a common narrative a lot of these scammers will follow. Once they get you on the line and get you hooked on the phone, a lot of times they'll say that someone has stolen your identity or someone is placing purchases under your accounts. And what they'll do is they'll tell the victim that they need to transfer their money so it's safe from whoever's in there, right? But that's the scam. That's how they fool the victim into transferring their money out of their account. And in the case of a fake order scam, a lot of times that's the narrative it leads to. Victims receive this fake notification that an order was made under their account, right? When the victim calls to dispute the fake order, a scammer impersonates customer support. When they're impersonating customer support, what they'll do is they'll tell the victim, somebody has access to your accounts. Somebody's making purchases under your accounts. You need to transfer your money out of those accounts. You need to transfer over to this other account. And they'll claim to transfer them to a bank, and the victim will think they're talking to a bank or an agency. But we're going to spend a little time on these fake order scams. I have a lot of examples to show you, and this is an important one to be aware of because, again, they're targeting us from all directions. Email, phone, text message. So let's start with a text message version of this fake order scam. And by the way, let me know in the chat if you received this text message. I had multiple people report this text message to me. And this one, it impersonates Apple. And it claims that a purchase was made under you're using your iCloud ID and Apple Pay. It claims that a $143.95 charge at an Apple store occurred. And then eventually, towards the bottom, it says to call this number immediately to cancel this charge. Right? But that's how a fake order scam works. You get a notification, whether it's a text message, email, phone call, claiming an order was placed. And the goal of it is to trick you into calling a number to dispute it. Right? Because obviously you didn't place an order, right? So you got to think, okay, I better call this number to dispute it. But that's a scam. When you call the number, you think you're calling, in this case, you think you're calling Apple, but you're actually calling a scammer. They'll impersonate Apple, but it's a scam. In this specific example, where it's claiming a purchase was made at an Apple store, it's circulating a lot. Be aware of it, because multiple people reported this text message to me. So again, the whole purpose, the whole goal of a fake order scam is to trick you into calling a number to dispute that order. All right. We just looked at a text message example of this scam, but there's, like I was saying before, there's other variations. We're also being targeted by phone. The thing about this scam is they could insert any item into the scam. They could claim anything was purchased. They can impersonate any retailer. I have a couple examples that I'm going to share with you. And the two examples, the first one impersonates Amazon, and it claims a MacBook Pro was purchased. And then in the second example, it impersonates Walmart and claims a PlayStation was purchased. And in the text message we just looked at, they claimed an Apple Pay transaction occurred, right? So you can see how there's three different, in these examples alone, there's three different retailers, there's three different products. And that's the tricky thing about these fake order scams. They could impersonate, they could claim to be with any retailer. They could claim any product was purchased. The whole point is that you know you didn't purchase this product, and they're trying to trick you into calling and disputing it. But then you're actually connected to a scammer. So let me play you some of these phone call examples. Again, in this first example of fake order scam phone call, it impersonates Amazon, and it claims a MacBook Pro was purchased under your account. And what it does is it tells you to press 1 to dispute the charge. Either it tells you to press 1 or call the number on screen to dispute the charge. And the idea is you would get this phone call. You would be like, oh, no, I didn't purchase a MacBook Pro. Let me press 1 to dispute it. But then you connect it to a scammer, right? So let's listen to the first phone call example of this scam.
This call is to authorize the payment of $1,499 for the recent order of Apple MacBook Pro on your Amazon account. If you do not authorize this payment, please press 1 to speak to our customer support representative.
Right? So it says, please press 1 to speak to a customer service representative, and it claims a MacBook Pro was purchased under your Amazon account. If you press 1, you're going to be connected to a scammer. You're not going to be connected to customer support. They'll impersonate customer support, but it will be a scammer. And they'll probably tell you that somebody stole your identity, and they'll say you need to transfer money. They might try to get you on something known as a refund scam. If you call this number, they might say, okay, we can reverse that charge. Just give me your credit card details. But that's a trick to get your credit card details. That's less damaging than them telling you to transfer money out of your bank, though, which is common with these types of scams. So the whole point is, if you get these phone calls claiming that a purchase was made and to press 1 to speak to a customer service rep, be suspicious. If you get text messages like that, be suspicious. Instead of trusting the phone number it says to call, or instead of trusting pressing 1, what you do is go check out your accounts directly, right? If they're claiming to be Amazon, fine. Go check your Amazon account directly. Don't click any links in the text message. Don't call any phone numbers. Just go open your Amazon app or check out your account directly and see if there's anything strange on there. If they were impersonating Apple, like in the first example, where they were claiming a purchase was made at an Apple store, right? What you do is go check your Apple Pay. It's claiming the purchase was made with Apple Pay, so go check your Apple Pay app and see what's going on there. See if there's anything suspicious. If you're concerned that notification might be real, but don't call those numbers. Don't trust anything the text message says to you, right? And again, in these phone calls, don't press 1. To talk to a customer service rep, because it's a scammer. That's how this works. And the second example of phone call, of these fake order scam phone calls, this one impersonates Walmart and claims a PlayStation was purchased. And then it says to call the number on screen. It doesn't even say to press 1. It says call number on screen, which, by the way, that's a big red flag if you ever get a message that says call number on screen. But anyway, let's listen to this recording of a fake order scam that's impersonating Walmart.
We are trying to contact you concerning an unverified purchase of PlayStation 5 Special Edition bundled with Pulse 3D headset being ordered from your Walmart account for an amount of $859.50. If you did not authorize this transaction or wish to cancel, please press 1 or return our call on same number at your earliest convenience.
Right, return our call at same number. That's a scam. That's a big red flag right there. But this is an example of another version of a fake order scam call. It claims that that an order was made. They're impersonating Walmart, claiming you purchased a PlayStation, and they're trying to get you to call this number to trick you into talking to a scammer. They'll impersonate Walmart, but it's going to be a scammer. And that's how these fake order scams work. Again, they're targeting you from all directions. We just listened to the phone call examples, but before that, we showed the text message example. So we know they're targeting people by text message. They're targeting people by phone calls. But also email as well. And as far as the email goes, we actually have a victim's story to share with you regarding a fake order scam. And in her case, it was a email that got her. So this article is from August 2nd, 2024. Happened in July 2024. So about a year ago, but we still know this is a very common scam. It's still going strong, and even more now, if not then. And here's her story. It gives some additional details. And in her case, again, she fell for a fake order scam, but it was an email version. Here's what the article says. And again, before I even read it, this is why it's important for victims to share their stories. Because we read their stories, we learn from their mistakes, what to watch out for, and what red flags there are that these scammers will leave behind. So let me read a little bit of this article to you. A 23-year-old Lincoln woman reported losing $4,100 after falling victim to an identity fraud scam in July. The scam began on July 17th with an email claiming she had purchased an iPhone. The woman called the number provided in the email to dispute the purchase and was told she had multiple accounts open in her name. She was informed someone was using her identity. Right? So this is where she got pulled in by the fake order notification. She got an email claiming that she purchased an iPhone, and it tricked her into calling a number to dispute the purchase. And then, once she got connected to the scammers, they went with that whole narrative saying someone stole your identity. In her case, it says that the scammers posed as a CIA agent, and they instructed her to withdraw $3,600 from her bank account, then directed her to purchase Walmart gift cards. Additionally, the woman sent another $500 gift card to the scammers. So see the red flags there? We mentioned gift cards being a red flag when it comes to these scammers. And this is an example from a victim's story where if she had been aware of that red flag, that could have been enough to make the difference. Wait a minute, they're asking for gift cards? That's a scam. I know about that one, right? And if she had just been aware about these fake order notification scams, fake purchase, fake order scams, that maybe she would have been a little bit more suspicious too when she got this email claiming she purchased an iPhone. So that's just an example of the email version of these fake order scams. So I showed you a text message version of this scam, played 2 phone call versions of this scam, and we discussed the email version of this scam from our victim's story. So, like I said, these fake order scammers are being attacked from all angles and from all directions. And it's important to be aware of this one. Just checking in with the chat here. Yep, I see Dave saying, people ask how someone could fall for these scams. It's the lack of awareness. A lot of these scammers are great at social engineering. They also exploit emotional triggers and manipulate their victims. Right? Exactly. They do this all day long. It's their job. They're great at social engineering and manipulating emotions. They're working off of scripts. They know how to answer common things that a victim might ask or say. So very, very convincing, these scammers. And they're only becoming more convincing with AI. Now AI does a lot of work for them. We mentioned earlier, some of these scams, when you see spelling errors or capitalization errors or grammar errors, that's always a red flag. But now, with AI, there's going to be less of that. The AI generates nice, clean scam text for them. They could have a AI voice that sounds professional and legit, robocalling people. So they're only becoming more and more convincing with AI scams. So it's more important than ever to be aware of these scams. And so you can recognize them, or at least pause and realize that these are common scams and it's worth looking into. I'm telling you, once the money's gone, very rarely do these victims get it back. We hear horror stories. Retirees losing their retirement savings. People losing their life savings. It's all ages. That people like to kind of pick on the elderly and say the elderly are the ones falling for this. Where yes, the elderlies are falling for scams, but the recent report from the FTC that was released, I believe, in April this year, the most recent report from the FTC actually showed us that middle-aged folks are actually falling for more scams than older folks. Older folks are losing more because they have more put away and saved that the scammers take, but the middle-aged and younger folks are falling for more scams than the older folks are. They're just not losing as much, but they're falling for them. So any age could fall for these scams. Nobody's immune to falling for these. So the last scam we just talked about was fake order scam. Be aware of that one. Extremely common, attacking us from all angles. Make sure your loved ones are aware of it. If you're just joining, welcome to the live stream. I'm Jared with Scamware 101. We do this live stream every week to help spread awareness of common scams. If you're just joining us, welcome. Say hi in the chat. Let us know you're watching. We're streaming on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Let me make sure everything's still going good. We're still on Instagram, good. We're still on Facebook, good. And YouTube, good. The only chat that I'm monitoring, though, is the YouTube chat. So if you want to ask a question or make a comment, I'm only going to see it if you put it in one of the YouTube streams that we have. So, I mean, feel free to comment on the other ones, the Instagram and the Facebook streams. I'm just not going to see them until after the fact, probably. But yeah, make sure to subscribe, follow, like. You can help us spread awareness by liking our content. Liking this stream, hitting follow, hitting subscribe. Because by you doing that, the algorithm will share our content more. And by sharing our content, it'll spread awareness of these scams. We post videos on our YouTube channel. A lot of scams we're discussing tonight. We have videos about those scams on our YouTube channel, so you go check those videos out later. And we cover about 20 different types of scams on this live stream. We usually go for like 3, sometimes 4 hours, where we just hit our second hour, so we're about 2/3 through. And we have another hour at least jam-packed of good scam awareness tips and examples for you. Again, we cover 20 different types of scams. We show you all sorts of examples, from email scams, text message scams. We play you some phone call recordings. We're even going to show you some snail mail scams in a little bit, because scammers are still sending out traditional mail letters through the postal service. Mail scams. All important to be aware of. So, help support our mission. Hit that like button. Hit subscribe. Hit that thumbs up. Like, follow, all that good stuff. And definitely join our free mailing list. Scamaware101.com. Join mailing list. Oh, and of course, we'll take, if you want to make some donations, you go to scamaware101.com/donate. Or we have the super thanks enabled over here on YouTube. So you could give us a super thanks on a live stream or the video later if you're watching. And we have a merchandise store over on YouTube too. Our YouTube merchandise store. So check that out. We got mugs and mouse pads and cool little scam awareness reminders that you can purchase and help support the mission here of spreading awareness of these scams. Follow us on all your favorite social media platforms as well. We have links on our homepage if you can't find us. We're going to continue here with some more scam examples for you. So the next scam we're going to talk about are undeliverable package scams. Just bear with me one sec. I'm just getting my slide ready here. All right. So the next scam we're going to talk about here is undeliverable package scams. And what this is victims receive fake notifications about undeliverable packages and are asked to click a link to resolve. The link opens a fake website impersonating UPS, FedEx, or USPS. Any personal or financial details provided by the victim are stolen by the scammers. There never was a package. We saw this scam happening a lot towards the end of last year. It always picks up during the holidays, November, December, because there's lots of packages being sent and received, so people are more likely to fall for this type of scam. However, the scam does go along all year round, and recently I've been receiving some new reports about this scam popping up too. So it seems like this one's starting to pick up again, and I expect it to continue picking up probably throughout the rest of the year, especially as the last few months in the holidays start approaching. But anyway, so some important things about these undeliverable package scams, and I'll share some examples with you in a moment. But it's important to realize that these delivery services do not send text messages like these. All right, they're not going to send you text messages claiming that a package can't be delivered. They just don't do it. All right, so right off the bat, if you get a text message claiming you have a undeliverable package, it's a scam. Don't trust it. Some examples of the text message might be something like this. The USPS package has arrived at the warehouse and cannot be delivered due to incomplete address information. Please confirm your address and a link within 12 hours. And then it's got a link to a fake website. You click that link, and any information you provide is going to get stolen. Also, something to note about these scammer text message, a lot of times they have this instruction at the end where it says, please reply yes, then reopen the message. If you see that noted at the bottom of text, that's a big red flag. And we'll see that on a few more examples of scam text messages. But again, we're talking about undeliverable package scams, and that's when you get a text message claiming you have a package that's undeliverable. There's another example. In this example, it has an attachment. In fact, in the next two examples, these are attachments. It has the USPS logo. This came in as a text message. It says, your package has arrived at the distribution facility, but we are unable to deliver it due to incomplete address information. And that tries to trick the victim into clicking the attached HTML file, right? Mentioned it earlier in the stream. Going to say it again. Do not open attachments in unsolicited emails, unsolicited text messages. You do not want to open attachments that you weren't expecting. At best, they'll direct you to a fake website. At worst, they'll install malware onto your computer or device. So it's not worth the risk. Don't open attachments that you weren't expecting, especially if they're claiming to be from USPS and being text messaged to you. This example on your screen is real. It's a text message. It has HTML attachment. Another example, text message, same story, USPS logo, but it's got a PDF attached. So you know scammers are sending out these text messages with attachments, as well as just the text messages with the links, just trying to trick you into clicking those links and entering fake information. If you did click on one of those links, it might take you to a website that looks like this. All right, it's got the USPS logo up top, and it says they're only going to charge you a $3 redelivery fee. But again, this is a fake website. Any credit card details you enter, they're going to steal, and they're going to do a lot worse than charge you $3. A more convincing looking website it might take you to. This is an example of one of these scam websites. And it looks legit, right? This can fool somebody. It's got the USPS logo. It's got a fake tracking number. It's got the color theme down. But any shipping information, payment information entered, it gets forwarded to a scammer, and they're going to do bad things with it. So we're talking about undeliverable package scams. Let me know in the chat if you received any of these undeliverable package text messages. And again, people started reporting these. I had 2 different people start reporting these again to me like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So these are starting to pick up again. And regardless, they're going to pick up when the holidays approach towards the end of the year. So definitely be aware of these undeliverable package scams. We're talking about the text message version right now, but we'll also talk about the email version in a few minutes. But first, there is a fun news story that I do like to share when we're talking about this scam. It was a Wired article from August 2024, so it's less than a year old. But basically, USPS text scammers duped his wife, so he hacked their operation. Right, so that's a win. That's a win for the good guys, right? Basically, this guy's wife, fell for this undeliverable package scam, and scammers got their credit card details. But apparently, the husband was an IT guy and knew how to get in their systems, so he actually hacked into the scammers' systems, and he actually obtained a lot of information about the scam operation, how it works, what's going on behind the scenes, and this article revealed some fascinating details about this specific scam, these undeliverable package scams. Right off the bat, one of the first things that it reveals is that this was a Chinese-based group, Chinese language-based scammer group, and they were sending out over 100,000 scam text messages per day. Right, so think about that for a second. 100,000 scam text messages per day. And that's why these text message scams are so common now, because they have the software, they have the technology. To them, they're just sending these out just like they could send out hundreds of thousands of emails a day. Now they can send out hundreds of thousands of scam text messages per day. So that's why we're seeing an increase in these text message scams. So that's the first thing. Over 100,000 scam texts going out per day. And it's a Chinese-based group. And he discovered that people entered 438,669 unique credit cards. That's almost 500,000 victims, or 500,000 unique credit cards that victims provided. So it gives you an idea of these scammers. They're making money. All right, the scams are working. They got almost 500,000 credit cards from victims. And that's why we see so many of them, because they're having success, right? They're winning. He also noted that many people entered multiple cards each, right? So, and he also said 500,000 email addresses were logged, including university email addresses and military or government email addresses. So based on that, you can assume that military people, government people, they're falling for this scam too. But think about that: over 500,000 unique credit cards from victims, and they were sending out over 100,000 scam text messages per day. So it just gives you an idea of what these scammers are capable of. And in this case, these were the groups that were sending out the undeliverable package text message scams. But they're probably the same group now that's been sending out all these unpaid road toll scams too, because they're very similar. In fact, when this undeliverable package scam started slowing down, that's when we started seeing an increase in these road toll scams. So I suspect the same Chinese language speaking group is behind those road toll scams as well, or at least one of the groups behind them. But anyway, back to this Wired article. I consider it a win. The scammers got hacked. We found out a bunch of details about them, and it revealed some fascinating details about the scam operation. So we talked about the undeliverable package scam and the text message version of that scam. But there's actually an email version too. And that shouldn't be surprising, because any text message scam could easily be adapted for email, and any email scam could easily be adapted for a text message. So a lot of times we'll see the same scam, arriving through different methods. Just like that fake order scam. We had a victim that received an email. We had an example of the text message version. And in this case, these undeliverable package scams, even though the text message version is the most common, last year during the holidays, we actually were the only organization to report on an email version of this scam. And it just popped up real quick during Black Friday and seemed to disappear real quick. So be on the lookout for it again over this holiday season. But let me show you some examples of this email version of this scam. And an email version impersonates FedEx. And you can see this email was November 16th. All right, so it's during the holidays last year. It impersonates FedEx. Sorry, your package appears to be delayed. We regret to inform you there's been an issue with the delivery of your FedEx shipment. We understand how frustrating this could be. As an apology, we'd like to offer you a compensation product up to $100 in value. Red flag. Just so you're aware, FedEx, UPS, they don't offer compensation products because your package is delayed. So anyway, this is the email. You can see it's got FedEx's logo. Looks pretty professional for the most part. And it has a link to get your compensation product, right? November 16th. Week later, or close to a week later, November 22nd, we get this email. UPS. Clearly it's the same scam by the same people, but this one's got the UPS logo. We're sorry, your package appears to be missing. We understand how frustrating this could be. We value your time and want to make things right. And then get your compensation now. They're offering you a compensation product with $100 in value. So this is kind of like a different version of the undeliverable package scam, right? The text message version that we showed, it was trying to direct you to a fake website and make a redelivery fee payment, right, for $3. This version of the scam, this email version of the scam, they're trying to get you to click on a link and be taken to a website to claim a gift. Well, what happens when you get that website? They're going to say, just pay for shipping. And that's how they steal your details. So that's two different versions of this undeliverable package scam. We got the email version, the text message version. We saw them impersonate UPS. We saw them impersonate FedEx. We saw them impersonate USPS in the text messages. So these undeliverable package scammers, they're impersonating multiple delivery services. They've impersonated DHL, Amazon, delivery services in other countries. They impersonate when they're doing the scam over in other countries. It's a very common scam, and we see it a lot. Which brings us to our next scam, which is fake retail websites. And I'm actually going to use the screenshots I'm going to share with you, and the example of these fake retail websites is actually the websites that these emails link to. It's the compensation products. Because what happens is this scam actually evolves into a fake retail website scam. But anyway, before we get into that, that's an undeliverable package scam. We know that the text message seems to be the most common version. There are email versions. Sometimes they try to trick you by saying you got to pay a delivery fee. Sometimes they trick you by saying you claim a free product, compensation product. But at the end of them both, you're not going to get anything. They're going to steal your credit card details. And it's going to be a lot worse than what you think you're going to get charged. So don't fall for it. These fake undeliverable package scams. Again, FedEx, UPS, USPS do not send out text messages telling you packages couldn't be delivered. They do not send out emails like this either. Keep in mind, if you want to track a specific package, you could do that, and you could request updates for a specific package, but it doesn't happen by default. You're not going to get a random text message about a random package or an email about a random package saying it couldn't be delivered. It doesn't work that way. You would actually have to go and request package updates first before ever receiving any of these. So, and even if you did, they wouldn't be offering free products or asking you to pay a fee. So don't trust this. You get any kind of undeliverable package notifications, whether it's a text message or an email. It's a scam. Don't trust it. And be aware about this one, especially during the holidays, because it always picks up towards the end of the year. There's lots of packages being sent and received for the holidays. Watch out for this scam. And again, watch out for it currently, because there's been an increase in reports. Slowed down for a while, and then suddenly out of nowhere, 2 people reported this scam recently. How are we doing out there today? Say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. Say hi in the YouTube chat at least, because that's the one I'm monitoring here. All right. If you're just watching, just joining, I'm Jared with Scamware 101. Welcome to our weekly live stream. Today we're streaming on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, which is new. Usually we just stream on YouTube, but now we're streaming across multiple platforms here. So say hi, hit that like button, subscribe, follow, let us know you're watching. Again, the only chat I'm monitoring is the YouTube chat. So if you have a question or want to reply, hop on over to the YouTube channel, say something in our live stream over here on YouTube. I'll do my best to reply to everybody and answer any questions. Again, not monitoring Instagram or Facebook, so I'm not really seeing any chat going on over there, but feel free to talk amongst yourself over in those streams. And definitely hit that like button. Hit that like button, follow if you haven't followed yet, hit subscribe. Help us spread awareness about these scams. That's our goal, to spread awareness about common scams. And you could help by just liking our content and helping the algorithm spread our content. You can also join our free mailing list, scamaware101.com, and click Join Mailing List. We'll send you some scam awareness updates, just let you know when we're going live, send you a few reminders. We don't abuse the privilege. We don't send out tons of emails, and you can unsubscribe at any time, but I don't think you'll want to because we're good. So join our free mailing list. And follow us on all your favorite social media platforms, Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky. The more the better. If you use multiple ones, follow us on them all. The more followers, more likes, the better. And usually we do this weekly live stream on Thursdays. We're just doing it a little earlier this week because of the holiday coming up. So you can always check our updated event calendar on our website. And we also have the events maintained and updated on our Facebook page as well. So when there's any changes, we update the event and you're aware of it. We usually cover about 20 different types of scams on this live stream every week. We're about halfway through now, through the scams. We share tons of examples, emails, text messages, phone calls, all important scam awareness details to be aware of. But right now, we're going to talk about some fake retail website scams. And the way this one works is scammers create a fake website to sell products that are never delivered. Victims are lured in by unbeatable deals and lose money once they pay. These scams often target holiday shoppers or those seeking trending items. Right? Because it's very easy for scammers to throw these websites online. A lot of times they have software that's already got it all preset up and built. This specialized black market scam software, and they could publish a website or a fake login page in minutes, a fake checkout page in minutes. It's not a big deal for a scammer. And some examples of these fake retail websites, what they'll do is they'll offer you amazing products, but they'll say just pay for shipping. Right? So you'll think you'll be getting like a $200 product. That's great. I only have to pay $8 for shipping. But it's a trick. They're going to steal whatever information you enter. They're going to steal any billing, credit card, banking details, anything you enter, scammers going to steal. You're never going to get the product. So let me show you some examples of these fake retail websites. And again, these were actually the examples that the undeliverable package scam email that we just went over linked to. So you can see how that scam evolved into a fake retail website scam. But in this case, Black Friday banner across the top. They're trying to make it look like it's some amazing deal. Wireless headphones available for free, valued $175. Just pay $8.95 for shipping. That's a scam. Anything you enter in here, any shipping information, payment details, is going to get stolen by the scammer. It's another example. Right, this one claims it's a portable heater. Again, valued at $175, but get it now, just pay for shipping, $8.69. But it's a scam. Any information entered gets stolen. The scammer will use it to purchase a whole bunch of stuff for themselves. Then we have the wireless earbuds. That's always a hot item, right? Valued at $175. Get it now, $8.69 shipping. But that's how they get you. A lot of times these offers where it's a product with $100, $200, just pay for shipping, it's a scam. They're just trying to trick you into entering your billing information so you can steal it. And they'll use trending items. I'm going to show you another example later of a different scam, but they use wireless earbuds to try and trick you. It's actually like a snail mail version of this kind of. But again, these are fake retail websites. You need to watch out for these. And the thing about these fake retail websites is you could arrive on one of them in many different ways. I already shared the example of that undeliverable package scam email. The email offers you a free gift. And that could just be an email that comes from any retailer or any scammer impersonating a retailer saying, hey, you've been a great customer. Here's a $50 gift certificate to Amazon. Not a gift certificate. Here's a link to a free Amazon gift. And then it links to a fake website. Or you received a free gift as a valued customer. They make it look like you click this link to a jewelry store and get a free gift from a jewelry store. Right? So it could be an email. That's my point. You get a fake email offering you a free gift. That's one way you could arrive on these fake retail websites. Another way is advertisements, right? Because these scammers, they'll purchase advertisements to these fake websites. You'll find the advertisements on social media, like on Facebook, for example. Lots of scam advertisements on Facebook. Then they link to these fake websites. So you might see a ad that a scammer purchased on Facebook offering this free product. But it's a scam. Just because it's an ad you're seeing on Facebook, that doesn't mean it's legit. Anybody can buy Facebook ads. Scammers do. And then there's the Google search results. These scammers, they'll purchase sponsored listings. This way, if somebody's searching for these items during the holidays, for example, they'll purchase sponsored listings, and the listing will link to these fake retail websites. So you can't trust ads. Even if you're on a legit website, you might be on a news website, for example, that is a legit news website, but they use third parties to insert the ads on the page. So you might be on a legit website, but the ad that gets shown is from a third party, and they might let a scammer through. So you might see ads for these scams on legit websites. So these scammers have all different ways to try and pull you into their fake websites. So be aware of these fake retail websites. Do your due diligence if you're going to use a website you've never used before. Check and see if there's reviews. Do a quick Google, see if anybody's reporting it. Finding nothing about the websites is almost as bad as finding bad reviews about a website. If there's no information about a website, you shouldn't trust it either. In this case, in these fake retail websites I'm showing you, when I did the research, they were so new, there was nothing reported on them. So finding nothing about a website is just as bad as finding bad reviews. Right? You shouldn't trust either. You should use a website that your friends have used, you could trust it, or a website that you find reviews that look real and reliable. And look, if an offer seems too good to be true, a lot of times it is. Most of the time it is. I would say almost 100% of the time it is. So be suspicious of any offers that seem too good to be true, especially if they're on websites you've never used before or heard of. The scam picks up during the holidays. It happens all year round. There's a recent one for a jewelry store that was going out of business. I forget the name of it, but it was a jewelry store that went out of business, and a whole bunch of people got tricked into, they received emails saying, it's a going out of business sale, and it linked to these fake retail websites, and they impersonated jewelry stores. So all these people spent thousands of dollars thinking they were getting all these great deals on jewelry, but they're fake retail websites. And the scammers knew to impersonate the jewelry store to make it seem like it's realistic. So anyway, those are fake retail websites. You need to be aware of them. You need to watch out for them. If an offer sounds too good to be true, it is. Let me know in the chat if you're watching. Say hi. The YouTube stream. That's the one I'm monitoring. And we'll take likes and chat over in the Instagram and Facebook one too, if you're over there watching. I'm not really monitoring that one though. So if you want to chat, ask questions, hop on over to YouTube stream and I'll talk to you there. We're going to continue with these common scams here. Next scam we're going to talk about is a gift card received scam. And we're going to talk about the email version. So you might get an email notification that you received a gift card. Or let me rephrase this. Victims receive an email notification that they received a gift card. When the victim attempts to activate the gift card by clicking a link, malware is installed on their device, or a fake website is opened to steal personal information. And this is very common, these fake gift card scams. It's very similar to the fake retail website scams we just talked about, where the victims get an email about products or whatever, and it has a link to it. Well, in this case, victims get emails about gift cards. And the gift cards could be impersonating retailers. The gift cards might say it's from your employer or from a family member. Or it could just say that's from a retailer that's giving you, appreciate your business, so here's a free gift or a free gift card, right? But it's a scam. They're trying to get you to click a link that's going to infect you with a virus, or they're trying to get you to click a link that's going to ask you for billing information to link it to the card or verify who you are. There's some scam at the end of that link, right? So what you want to do, well, let me show you an example first, and we'll talk about what to do. Here's an example of an email you might get. And this one impersonates Venmo. It says that your $50 gift card is here. And it says your company has given you an employee rewards card. Activate your card today. All right, but this is a scam. So if you get if you get an email you weren't expecting claiming that somebody sent you a gift card, whether it's an employee or employer or a family member, don't trust the link until you confirm they actually sent you this. And what I mean by that is, in this case, where it says your company has given you an employee rewards card, before you go clicking any link, reach out to your company and see if they actually sent it to you. Reach out to your employer and see if they actually sent you this. Especially if you're at work and you get this notification, because that could be a scammer trying to target your business. You know, this is one of those scams where you can be targeted as an individual, but if you're at work and because it mentions your employee, it's from your employer, right? This could be targeting you at work too. And if you click that link, you just let the scammer into your entire network. You just destroy the company you work for because you just let them in. So that's the business case of this type of scam. It's dangerous, but it's just as bad for the individual. You enter your information to go steal any details you enter. So again, you get some kind of notification for a gift card that you weren't expecting, an email notification. You want to reach out to the person who it supposedly came from, whether it's your employer in this case or a family member. If it says that's from a family member, reach out to that family member. Because yes, scammers will know family members to try and trick you. Right? We already learned that in the grandparent scam example we shared. And plus, if somebody sends you a gift card, you're going to want to thank them anyway, right? So it's a 2-for-1. You reach out to them, you confirm it's real, they actually sent it to you, and then you thank them. So boom, there you go. But again, that's the example of a gift card received scam. It's the email version of that scam. So be suspicious if you're getting gift card offers in the email that you weren't expecting. How are we all doing out there? Let me know you're watching. Say hi in the YouTube chat. Not really monitoring how many people are watching, so the only way I can really gauge it is the interaction in the YouTube chat. So definitely stop over, say hi, hit the react button, hit like. Let's see if we get some more people in here by hitting the like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet. a lot of scams we're talking about this evening. We have videos about those scams too, so you can check them out on our YouTube channel later and share them with a loved one. It's almost time for the second final coffee break of the live stream. Because we're about 2.5 hours in. But we're probably going to go for about another hour. So, and that final hour will be uninterrupted. All right, everybody, we're going to take a quick 5-minute coffee break. And then we're going to start the third and final portion of our live stream. Go for another hour. Got lots of good scams coming up. Social security scams, IRS tax impersonation scams, discount scams. Then we have some snail mail scams to go over too, because the scammers are still sending out letters. Right? It's important to be aware of it. We got examples, all recent examples. They're still using the post service. So lots of good stuff coming up. Stay tuned. Hit that like button if you haven't yet. And I'll be back in 5. everybody. We're going to go get started in a moment on our third and final portion of the live stream tonight. But we got a good hour or so left, probably an hour and a half, maybe even an hour and a half. Got about 10 more scams to go over. I'm going to show you some tools and software to help protect yourself. So a lot of good stuff coming up on this live stream this evening. We're going to start talking about some Social Security scams, some IRS and tax impersonation scams. Lots of good stuff coming up here. And before we get started, click that join mailing list on scamaware101.com. If you join our free mailing list, we'll send you some scam awareness tips, reminders when we're going live, all good stuff. Won't abuse the privilege. You can unsubscribe at any time. Check out Scamaware 101 and click join mailing list. You can also follow us on all your favorite social media platforms: Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, YouTube. We're actually streaming right now on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for the first time this week. Usually we just do YouTube, but we're seeing if we could do Facebook, Instagram at the same time. So say hi, hit that like button, let us know you're watching. Not really monitoring the comments over on Facebook, so if you have questions or want to talk to me, hop on to the live stream chats, because I am monitoring that and I'll be answering your questions in there. But anyway, back to the live stream. We do this every week. I'm Jared with Scamaware 101. Our goal is to spread awareness of these common scams. On this live stream, we go over 20 different types of scams. We show you examples, email examples, text message examples. Our goal is to spread awareness. That's our mission. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. A lot of these scams that we're going over tonight, we have separate videos that we've created about them. And we're going to continue releasing scam awareness videos as well. So definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't yet. Hit that like button on the live streams. We'll see if we get some more people in here and help us spread awareness of these scams. We also have super thanks enabled on YouTube, so feel free to send your super thanks. Don't feel obligated, but we always appreciate anything. And scamaware101.com/donate. You can make a donation there if you want to help support our cause. And on YouTube, we have our store. So we're selling Scamaware 101 mugs, travel mugs, coffee cups, mouse pads, some cool stuff that's on your desk and reminds you, don't fall for scams, all right? And I just refilled my Scamaware 101 mug here. So I had to stay caffeinated for you people and give you some useful information for the last hour and a half of our live stream here. So say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. Hit that like button. And let's get into some more of these scams here. And next scam we're going to talk about is Social Security scams. So bear with me. I'm just bringing up the slide here. So these Social Security impersonation scams. There's a couple different variations of this to be aware of. One of the variations is scammers impersonate Social Security officials and claim there are problems with the victim's number of benefits. They threaten action unless immediate payment or information is provided. Scammers will also send fake emails that appear to be from Social Security, but link to dangerous websites. Right? So there's some different versions of these Social Security impersonation scams out there. Sometimes they'll reach out to you by phone and they'll claim they're with Social Security. They'll claim that there's a problem with your benefits or your number, right? And they'll eventually try to get some billing information out of you or steal some credit card details or bank account details. They might just be trying to steal your Social Security number too, but sadly, a lot of scammers already know our Social Security numbers. So it's important to be aware. They might call you and know things about you. They may know your Social Security and use that as a way to trick you into providing billing information, right? So be suspicious of any phone calls claiming to be from Social Security. And like any phone calls that were unsolicited and come in, like all of them, you have to hang up and then call back directly to verify. Don't trust what the caller ID says. Don't trust what they tell you to call. Go confirm where to actually call and reach out directly. You just can't trust unsolicited phone calls anymore from people that you weren't expecting. They could say that they're anybody. The caller ID could show and that they're anybody. So be suspicious. But anyway, Social Security impersonation scams. That's one version. You get a phone call. They claim there's a problem with your account. And then they steal information. The other version are these fake emails that you could get that impersonate Social Security. And we have an example of one of those fake emails too. First, I'm going to show you what it looks like on a mobile device, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like on a PC. All right, so on a mobile device, this is what the email looks like. And it's a little less obvious that's a scam, right? You don't really see the email address is from unless you click on it, right? So if you're using a mobile device, always click on the from address. If you're going to download something or get an email that you think is real, always click on the from address and see what the email actually is. And unfortunately, you have to click on it on a mobile device. It doesn't just show you. So you always want to confirm that the email address is from is actually legit by clicking on that the mobile device, on the name where it says from. But also, you could see in this email, it says, get your new information now. To see your statement, please download the file from this link. And then it has a link that looks like it points to ssa.gov, which is the Social Security Administration website, right? It then says, thank you for using the Social Security Administration services. Please do not reply to this email as we are unable to respond. This file works on computers only, which is kind of weird that they would put. That's a little red flag right there where it says this works on computers only. Because the truth of the matter is this is a scam email, and they're trying to trick you into clicking this link. It's going to install malware onto the computer. And I guess it only works on a computer, which is why they're saying it runs on a computer only. But once you look at the email on a computer, it's much easier to tell, or much obvious that it's a scam. Much more obvious. So first of all, you see the email address right here, and it's not a Social Security email address. Right? Some random email address, I believe, is a .co.ke, so it's from like Kenya or something. Right? And then it says Department of Information Services. So now it starts becoming obvious, like this isn't really from Social Security. Right? And then when you hover over the link, you could see this link that supposedly links to ssa.gov and is made to look like it links to ssa.gov. It doesn't. It actually links to a completely different website. This could be a fake website that installs malware on your device. So you never want to trust links that are sent to you in an email that were unsolicited and unexpected. You know, when you get emails about statements, don't even click on the links in the emails. Go log into whatever account, you know, they claim to be from. Check your statements that way. There's just no reason to click on links if you could avoid it. But anyway, this is a real example of an email that impersonates Social Security Administration. In this case, they try to trick you into downloading and running a file on your device, a virus or malware. But you also still need to be aware of phone calls too, right? So you're being attacked from all angles. Watch out for these Social Security scams. Awesome. Thank you, Megan. See some people talking to the chat. See Megan there. See Lane in the other chat. Anybody else in there? Say hi on the YouTube live stream chats. That's the one we're monitoring. That's the one we're answering questions on. And if you're there, hit that like button if you haven't yet. Hit that react button, hit the like button. See if we get some more people up in this stream. We still got an hour or so left and lots of good information to share this week. Next scam we're going to talk about is tax and IRS impersonation scams. And similar to Social Security Administration scams, there's different versions of these tax and IRS impersonation scams that you need to watch out for. Some might be a phone call that comes in that impersonates the IRS and claims you owe money, or that there's a problem with your taxes. Right? You might get approached by a phone call or an email like that, claiming there's an issue. The other way is a text message, and we have an example of a text message to share with you as well. But definitely be suspicious of phone calls that you weren't expecting, that they're claimed to be from the IRS. And again, just like any other unsolicited phone call that you weren't expecting, you need to hang up the phone and then call directly if you're concerned that it's real, or confirm the information on the official website, right? But you have to. And look, again, these organizations, they realize that. They understand completely that if they're actually trying to reach you over the phone, they're well aware of these scams. And they should be perfectly fine with you hanging up and confirming some things, right? In fact, let's go back real quick to Social Security scams. This is a picture of a letter from Social Security, a real physical, an envelope that came in the mail from Social Security, right? And right on the envelope, in big letters, right? Scam alert. Scammers are pretending to be government employees. They may threaten you and may demand immediate payment to avoid arrest or other legal action. Do not be fooled. If you received a suspicious call, and it says in all caps, hang up. And two, do not give them money or personal information. And it says you can report the scam at oig.ssa.gov, right? But this warning in big letters, like this is literally on the envelopes that Social Security has been sending out to people. So it's a threat. It's a serious threat. It's being taken seriously, and people need to be aware of these impersonation scams that claim to be Social Security or any government employees for that matter, right? The next one we started talking about was the IRS scams. So the same deal. You need to hang up and call directly and verify if you're concerned that's even real. But anyway, back to these tax and IRS impersonation scams. So, like I was saying, you need to look out for those phone calls, right? You get a phone call, claims to be the IRS, trying to get you to pay immediately over the phone, trying to scare you, right? Don't trust it. They should be perfectly okay with you hanging up and verifying. The IRS is well aware of scams, and they should have no problem with that. But the other version of these IRS impersonation scams that are circulating, here's a text message version, and we were actually warned about this one specifically by IRS this year. They warned us about this specific text message scam. And this example of an impersonation scam is they're not claiming there's an issue with your account. What they're claiming is that you're actually entitled to a $1,400 economic impact payment. And then it says, please provide your accurate personal information. We'll deposit the amount into your bank account or mail a paper check within 1 to 2 business days. And then it has a link to a fake website that's going to steal any banking information you enter, right? So this is a different type of IRS impersonation scam. They're trying to trick you into entering bank information, saying that you're entitled to $1,400. But this offer specifically, this text message, the IRS warned us about it. That's where the screenshot is from. It's from the IRS. They warned us about this specific scam this year. So they said there's no $1,400 economic impact payment. If there was, they wouldn't be texting anyway. So if you get a text message like this, be aware. It's a scam, 100%. And don't click that link. And notice how this link, they try to be clever, right? It starts off with www.irs.gov. So you might think like, oh, this really points to irs.gov. But you'll notice then it continues with .subsidy-ion.com. So this doesn't really link to irs.gov. They just try to trick you by making that the first portion of this website, but the real website is subsidy-ion.com. So don't trust this text message if you get it. Don't trust any text message really from the IRS claiming you have money available. And also notice the instruction at the bottom of this again. We mentioned that instruction earlier about text messages. It's the red flag. If it says, please reply with yes, then exit and reopen, that's a red flag. That's from a scammer. They want to trick you into replying and reopening the message. If you reply and reopen the message, the link gets activated on iPhones. So not only does the scammer know you read and reply to their message, the link becomes active and is more likely you'll click it. So anyway, don't reply to mess with them, because then suddenly their links become active. Report it as junk, ignore it, and definitely don't think it's from the IRS. It's 100% not. We were warned specifically about this text message. Also, one interesting note about this type of scam, just to point it out again, we're warned this year about this text message version. But on the IRS website, 2 years ago, they warned about an email version of this scam. It's almost an identical scam. It said you're eligible to economic impact payment, but it came through email, not text message. So that's just another example of how an email scam usually ends up being adapted for a text message, or a text message scam is adapted for an email scam. So really be on the lookout for this type of scam, whether you get emailed about it, text messaged about it, you know. So that's just another example of these IRS impersonation scams, along with, you know, the fake phone calls where they claim to be from the IRS. Be suspicious, log into your own IRS account and confirm anything, or reach out to IRS directly. But don't trust unsolicited phone calls and people claiming to be IRS. How are we all doing out there? Let me know in the chat that you're watching. Maybe we've got about an hour or so left to go. And we're live streaming still on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. Our Facebook stream got cut off earlier once, but it's been going good ever since for almost 2 hours now, so that's good. Don't know if anybody's watching or not. Not really monitoring the chat over there, but I am monitoring the YouTube chat. So hop on over to YouTube if you want to ask a question or share a story in the chat. And if you're just joining us, I'm Jared, Scamaware 101, and we do this live stream every week to spread awareness of common scams. Because awareness is key to avoiding becoming a victim. A lot of times, if it gets to the point where you're scammed out of money, you're never going to see that money again. So finding out after the fact is too late. You need to be aware of these scams so you can recognize them as soon as possible. Because the sooner you recognize them, the sooner you can cut off the scammer and not lose any money. Because these scammers, they want to take it all. They want to take it all. So you need to recognize it as fast as possible. And that's our goal here, is we share over 20 different types of scams, all recent scams, all circulating now, all important to be aware of. And we share examples, including email examples, text message examples, phone call examples. Again, all active scams that are circulating, and individuals need to be aware of them. Because all these scams, they target individuals. Next scam we're going to talk about, and sticking with the IRS and tax-related scams, are tax forgiveness scams. And this one always picks up during tax season. It's still circulating currently. Because it picked up during tax season as expected and hasn't really slowed down since. And these tax forgiveness scams, they're actually scammer third parties. And they're trying to trick you into, they're trying to scare you, first of all, by claiming you owe back taxes. And then they try to trick you into calling their scammer call center for tax forgiveness. Right. So let's listen to one of these phone calls as an example of what you might get. And I received this phone call. Many other people reported this exact same phone call to me. And it's a robocall. It's going out there, and it's telling everybody you owe back taxes. But if you give us a call back in 1 week, we could help you. So they're trying to scare people. They're trying to get some urgent reaction from them. Very common tactics of a scammer. And let me play you an example of one of these phone calls that you might get. And this sounds realistic. It almost sounds like it's a real female at the end talking directly to you. But this is AI generated, and it's a robocall. Everybody's getting the same phone call. So even though it sounds very realistic, I give the AI credit. It's not. It's not some actual human on the other end. It's a robocall. They don't have your file on their desk like they claim, right? It's all a scam. And they don't know if you owe back taxes or not. So if you get a call like this, don't get scared, think you owe back taxes. It's all just part of the scam. Also, interesting comment about this. Some feedback I received from someone who received this phone call. They received it after they filed their tax. So what they thought in their mind was, what, I owe back taxes. I must have messed something up on my taxes or missed a payment or something, right? So there's different ways that someone could receive this and think like, oh, even if they did everything right, since it's tax season, they might think they did something wrong or need to update something. But anyway, I don't want to get off track. Let me play an example of one of these phone calls. And if you get one of these, don't call back.
Hi, this is Lindsay Carter from the Activation Department. Give me a call back at 833-850-2527. Our records indicate you have some back taxes owed. You're now eligible to apply for them to be forgiven with the Zero Tax Balance Program. Any back owed taxes can be enrolled to be forgiven through this program. But we do need to sign up this week. Just give me a call so we can start the process. It's really quick, and I'll keep your file open here. So my number is 833-850-2527. If you've already resolved this, call back and press 2 to be removed. Can't wait to speak with you.
So there's a lot of red flags in that voicemail that indicate it's a scam. Right off the bat, it says you owe back taxes, so it's trying to scare you. It says we can only help you if you call back within a week, so it's trying to force urgency out of you. It's made to sound very realistic. Like, I have your file here open on my desk. They don't. That's a recorded phone call. That wasn't a real person. It was well done, but it wasn't a real person. And again, multiple people reported that, called me as well. When you call back the number, it goes dead eventually. It's just some voicemail that goes dead, and it was nothing when I called back the number. I don't know what it does these days. This example is from a few months ago. But anyway, since then, I've gotten many variations of that call. Other people have sent me examples and variations of that call. Just be aware that this is a very common scam. So, if you're concerned that you owe back taxes or you want to look into tax forgiveness, reach out to your accountant. Work with somebody who does taxes. Right? Don't just take some random phone call from a shady company that's trying to scare you, by saying you have back taxes owed. So, anyway, be aware of that. That's a very common scam. Picks up during tax season. I know it's still circulating now. So, be aware of it and don't fall for it. This next scam we're going to talk about is an interesting one. I'm not sure exactly what the official name for it is, but it's an example of a fake Comcast phone call scam that eventually they try to get you to purchase gift cards. We're going to listen to a phone call version of this scam in a second, but let me just kind of explain how it works. So you receive a phone call. In this case, it says, "This is Comcast. Your 50% discount is going to expire. Call us back to discuss options," or whatever. Right? You'll hear the actual phone call. But the way the scam works is it scares the victim into thinking, "Oh no, my bill's going to double. This is what I don't know what's going on. 50%. What's going on?" Right? So they call back immediately. Right? They think they're calling Comcast, but they're actually calling scammers. And what the scammers do is they tell the victim that your 50% promotional offer is expiring today. Your bill's going to go up, but we do have a partnership going on with Target, for example. They might say Walmart or something, but I'm just using Target as an example. We have a partnership going on with Target where if you pay the next 6 months of your internet service with a Target gift card, you could keep the special pricing. Right? And they get them to purchase a $500 Target gift card and provide the gift card to them, thinking that they're getting a 50% discount and keeping their bill low. But it's actually a scammer trying to trick the victim into purchasing and sending a gift card. Right? They're impersonating Comcast. So in this example, I'm going to play for you. They impersonate Comcast. I actually received this phone call. I don't have Comcast. So, I knew immediately it was a scam. But if somebody has Comcast, I could see how this could scare them into calling back and being worried about their bill doubling. Also, just because this is a Comcast example, the same scam is being run for other internet and phone providers too. So whoever you use, Verizon or Optum Online, and I can't think of any more off the top of my head, but you get what I'm saying. That the same scam is going for all those providers and whoever you use. By the way, let me play a recording of how this voicemail goes, and if you get a voicemail like this or a call like this, you should ignore it because it's a scam.
Hello. This voicemail is from Comcast Xfinity. Your current 50% discount on your monthly bill will expire by the end of the day. To maintain your reduced rate, call the number on your caller ID immediately. This is your final reminder to act. Call back now. Thank you.
Right, so that's the example of that fake discount gift card scam. Right, it says this is Comcast, your 50% discounts get expire, call us back immediately. If you call back, you'll get told there's a new partnership going on with Target or Apple or someone else, and you're going to be told to go purchase a $500 gift card, and if you pay with that, you'll get the special offer for next 6 months or a year. But it's a scam. They're just trying to trick you into purchasing a gift card, making you think that your bill's going to double if you don't. So watch out for this type of scam. People are reporting it. We're seeing it pop up. We're seeing reports of it. Now I have two different reports here. Yeah, this one was Xfinity. Yep, same deal, saying half price and purchase Target gift cards. And this other example, or this other report, Cable called to offer. So he didn't say the company they impersonated, but it was the same deal. They said they teamed up with Target, pay for 6 months in advance. So this is a scam. These reports came in, within the month. So it's an interesting type of scam. But again, if you get a phone call like that claiming that your internet bill or your cable bill is got a 50% discount's going to expire, beware, it's probably a scam. If you're concerned about it, call your cable company directly. Don't talk to the person that's calling you. Don't call back a number on the voicemail. If you're concerned about it, reach out to your cable company directly and ask them. But this is a scam, so you get a phone call like that, be aware. How we all doing tonight? I see Nigella has joined us. Awesome. Good to see you. Welcome back. Always a pleasure to see you. Let's see. We got Dave saying when he gets those calls, he blocks the number and he still gets more under a different number. Yep. I mean, that's what happens. That's why I kind of advise people, don't even reply. The less they know that you're going to respond, the better, because it was bad enough. They already send all these different scams on different numbers. And if you reply, you're just going to keep on getting hit with more, and it's crazy. But it's still good to keep reporting them. We get them shut down at least, and I mean, maybe it puts a little bit of a dent. I see Nigella saying the AT&T and cable scams, a lot of them originate from Pakistan. Interesting. Hey, for anybody else just joining for the first time, welcome to our live stream. We do this live stream every week. It's a scam awareness live stream. I'm Jared with Scamware 101, and our mission here is to spread awareness of common scams. So that's why we do this live stream. We have a YouTube channel where we create scam awareness videos. A lot of the scams we're talking about this evening, we have videos about. So make sure to check out our YouTube channel and subscribe. And you can share some of the videos with your loved ones if you think they should know, which they should. You can join our free mailing list on scamaware101.com. We'll send you scam awareness tips and reminders when we're going live. And it's free to join. So check it out. Go to scamaware101.com and hit join mailing list. You can also follow us on your favorite social media platforms: Facebook, Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky, X, YouTube. We're most active on Facebook and YouTube, though, so definitely follow and subscribe on those. And while you're there, hit like. We usually do this live stream every Thursday, but we bumped it up a little early this week because of the holiday weekend coming up. And it looked like it was a wise decision. I've seen a lot of people in the chat, a lot of people stopping in to say hi. It's good to see everybody. So we got probably less than an hour left here, but still lots of good stuff to come. So stay tuned. If you're just joining, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit subscribe. We're streaming on Facebook and Instagram, trying something new this evening too. So we're on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Just checking on them now. They're both still streaming, it looks like. Very good. Yeah, when we started originally streaming on Facebook, it cut off after the first hour, but I don't know what caused it, but it looks like this new one's been going good for the past 2 hours. So I'm not really monitoring the chat. I don't know if anybody's coming in and seeing it, but hit that like button if you are. The chat I am monitoring is on YouTube. So if you have any questions or want to share a story, hop on over to our YouTube live streams and I'll see you in the chat there. So we just finished another batch of common scams, and we're going to take a break from those common scams, and we're actually going to talk a little bit about some tools and software for next 10, maybe 15 minutes or so. And one of the things we're trying to accomplish here at Scamaware 101 is build out our website as a resource for all sorts of scam awareness resources, materials, tools, software, knowledge base, videos, events. It's coming along slow, but that's the goal, and we are building it out. And one of the sections of the site that is built out is the tools and software section. lots of useful third-party tools and software listed on this page. So, right off the bat, I suggest you check out scamaware101.com and you click on Tools and Software. And the first section of this page are data breach lookup tools. We have 4 links, 4 different lookup tools. Some of them check your email, some check your phone number, some check your email and phone number. So enter both if that option is available. But these 4 data lookups, they're all free to do. A couple of them might try to pitch a identity monitoring after the fact, but getting the report is free from all these. They're reliable sources. You can trust them. But basically how this works is you enter your email address, your phone number, and these checks come back and they tell you any information of yours that's been leaked associated with those email and phone number, right? Meaning these third parties, what happens is all these different services you use, you give them your phone number, you give them your email address, among other personal information. And what happens is these third parties get breached. The bad guys get into their network, your data gets stolen, it gets sold, scammers take it, they use it, your passwords are out there, your account logins, there's so much information of yours that's getting stolen from third parties. No matter how safe you are, if your information is with third parties, there's a risk of it getting stolen. In fact, almost every major phone provider in the past couple of years has reported a breach, from Verizon, T-Mobile, Xfinity. They've all been breached at some point. Our health and medical information, there were major breaches last year. A lot of our medical and health information has all been breached and now is being sold and used against us in these scams. Social Security number, most of the country's Social Security numbers got breached last year in a giant breach that exposed almost 2/3 of the country, I think, United States. So the whole point is there's so much data and information about us that's out there because of these third-party breaches, and scammers know it. All right, so you use these checks and you could see what they know about you. You could see what accounts or what passwords they might even have access to, right? So full disclosure, you run these checks. Some of them might come back with passwords that you're using, right? So that's a good indicator. You got to change your passwords if you see any of your passwords popping up. But anyway, those are the first 4 links we include on our online tools and software page. If you use anything on this page, definitely use that and just see what information is out there about you. See what passwords are already out there. Know what information of yours is going to be used against you. Know what passwords or accounts you need to change your logins for, right? The next section we have here is some links to some, we actually got approved as a Nord affiliate, right? So NordPass Premium, NordVPN, we have some links here that you could use, get a huge discount on those 2 products, and then we get a little bit of a cut. So everybody should have a password manager. You should have different passwords for every account, and the way you keep track of that is through a password manager. NordPass, they're a big name in the industry. I use them, I stand behind them, and you could get, using this link, you can actually get 2 years for, I think it was $35 it comes to. So that's a great deal. So if you're thinking about getting NordPass or you're thinking about getting a password manager, use my link, save a bunch of money and get 2 years for pretty cheap, like $35. Same for NordVPN. If you don't have a VPN yet, or you're thinking about purchasing a VPN, use my link. You get 72% off and a year free. I think that came to like $100 for like over 2 years, which seems like a great deal too. So anyway, good software to have. If you're thinking about purchasing it, use those links, save a bunch of money, and we get a little piece of the purchase and help support our mission. Then we got a link to Malwarebytes Premium. You can save 25% off of that antivirus. Malwarebytes Premium offers real-time protection, and it's anybody that's in the IT industry should be familiar with Malwarebytes, or at least a free version of Malwarebytes. It's very popular in the IT industry. Someone gets infected or has something going on their computer's running slow, you run Malwarebytes, it checks for all these bad things that could be on there, pop-ups or viruses, malware. There's a free version. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but Premium offers real-time protection. And if you're considering purchasing Premium, use my link. You get 25% off, and we get a little bit of a cut as affiliate. So, anyway, that's that section. Help us out. That's our affiliate links. Now, we also have some links to some free software. Malwarebytes Browser Guard. Very cool. It's a browser extension. It's free. It blocks out a lot of ads and scams from websites. So, I've been using it for months now. Blocks out a lot of ads. I notice it when it blocks out a lot of ads. I stand behind it. And the funny thing is, it even blocks out my affiliate links above. So if you do install the browser guard, make sure to allow my site so you use my affiliate links. But again, browser extension is free. Plug it into Chrome, Firefox, whatever your browser, and it's pretty good. I've enjoyed it. Then we got a link to Malwarebytes free. I mentioned premium earlier. You can use my premium link, save 25%. But the free version is a great free piece of software. It doesn't offer real-time protection, but you could download it and run a scan on your computer. It'll help clean up any malware that's on there, detect things wrong with it. It's a free piece of software that you go download and run. So check out Malwarebytes free if your computer's running a little strange. I have a link to Bitdefender Antivirus free. It's a pretty decent free antivirus. I put the link here just in case you don't have any antivirus other than the default Windows antivirus. Right? If you already have paid antivirus, that's great. Keep on using that. But if you're just relying on the basic Windows antivirus, here's a free option you can install too. And it just offers some additional protection. Web Shield when you're browsing the internet, checks the links, things like that. I've used it. I've liked it. It's got good reviews. It'll nag you to try and get the pro version every now and then, but I think it's worth it for being free. Some people complain about the performance. I haven't experienced any issues, at least when I was using it, but, so I have the link there. In my opinion, it's better than nothing, and it's a good free antivirus if you don't have anything. And again, we're just going over some of the online tools and resources we have on scamaware101.com. And they just click online tools and resources. We have all this useful third-party links on our section here. The next section we have is a link to reverse image lookup tools. And these are cool for romance scams. What these reverse image lookups are, basically, for example, let's say you meet somebody on a dating website. They send you their pictures. You could take those pictures and you could do a reverse image lookup. And what they do is they check the internet and they come back. They tell you if they found those same images anywhere else, which means you might be talking to a scammer who stole someone's pictures. All right, so these reverse image lookups. They especially come in handy for romance scams. Or even if you just meet someone randomly, like a wrong number scam, and they send you a picture of themselves. Right, you could take that picture, you could run it through these reverse image lookups and see if it was stolen from somewhere. And we have a link to 3 different ones. Use all 3 in the situation because some of them might find what others don't. But we have a link to TinEye, which is a very popular one. And then we have a link to Bing Visual Search and also Google Image Search because you use both of those as well to search for images. So reverse image lookup tools, we have the links here on our online tools and software page. Scamaware101.com. And while you're there, click join for mailing list. The last couple sections here, we have the website safety lookup tools. So if you're just trying to research a website, see if there's any ratings, reviews, if it was detected as unsafe, reported with malware, you could use some of these tools to do some checks in addition to other research you're doing. We got a link to Norton SafeWeb. Tells you if there's any community ratings or reviews on the website. Google Safe Browsing. It tells you if it's been marked as or detected as unsafe or dangerous. And then a link to Virus Total, where you pop in a website, it'll tell you if there's been malware or anything detected on the site. So they're just some useful website safety lookup tools you could use when researching a website. And then the last section we have here, and we'll go into this one more a little later because I usually wrap up the live stream with using one of these tools, but it's the scam report lookup tools. We have a link to the BBB scam tracker tool and a link to the AARP scam tracking map. And what's cool about those tools is they're all recent reports of scams that are coming in, and it's all mapped out on a map showing where the reports are coming in, when they came in, the date ranges, and they're useful because you can see what reports are starting to pick up and come in more often, which scams are becoming more popular and trending. It's a useful resource, especially if you're trying to see if something's a scam or if other people are reporting a scam. And in fact, one of the things I do when we wrap up this live stream, probably in another 15 or 20 minutes, we might get into this. But what we'll do is we're going to open a scam tracking map, and we're going to look at some of the recent reports that came in throughout the country. And we'll see if they match, for the most part, the scams that we discussed. And we'll probably discuss a few of the other scams that are listed there that maybe we didn't cover yet. So it's a fun little way we'll wrap up the live stream tonight. We'll use the AARP scam tracking map. But yeah, so these are all useful tools and software. We have all the links here on our scamaware101.com on our online tools and software page. So check that out. And don't forget about those affiliate links. If you need NordPass, NordVPN, Malwarebytes Premium for antivirus, we got some good deals going on there. So use my links. And if you do anything, though, do these use these data breach lookup tools. See what data breaches your email address is associated with, your phone number is associated with. I mean, out of all the tools and links on this page, at the least use those 4 links. See how bad, see what data is flowing around there about you. And that's it for our portion of the live stream where we talk about the online tools and software page on scamaware101.com. Make sure while you're there to join our free mailing list by clicking Join Mailing List. And if you're just joining this live stream, we do it every week. And our goal is to spread awareness about common scams. This way you can protect yourself, protect your loved ones from becoming a victim. We've got maybe about 30 minutes left of this live stream. We're going to keep on going here. And we're going to get into some more common scams right now. It looks like we've got about 4 more common scams to talk about here. And then we're going to have some fun with the ARP scam tracking map for a few minutes. But for these last 4 scams that we're going to talk about, we're actually going to talk about snail mail scams. What I mean by snail mail scams is traditional postal service mail, right? Physical mail arriving in an envelope in your mailbox outside. Snail mail, right? Because scammers are still using traditional letters and the postal service to target victims. A lot of these scams we see online, they originated long before the internet was around. The inheritance scams we see, the free gift offer scams we see, the check cashing scams we see, they all existed before the internet. And scammers didn't exist how they did it before the internet. So we're still seeing a lot of that snail mail scams. And let's dive right in and talk about a few here. The first example of a snail mail scam we're going to talk about are free gift postcard scams. Right? You receive a postcard offering you a free gift. And a lot of these scams nowadays, they'll include a QR code to scan as well. Because of QR codes, snail mail scams have kind of had a revival. You know, before QR codes, a lot of these scams, they had to rely on a person calling a number or actually typing in a website and visiting it that way. But now, a lot of them will include a QR code because you just scan it and boom, it takes you right to the fake website or the scam. So we're seeing a little bit of a return of the snail mail scams and actual physical scams and letters. And in this example, we mentioned a free gift, right? Victims receive a physical postcard in the mail offering a free gift. And here's an example of what that could look like. Here's a postcard. You get it in the mail, snail mail, free wireless Bluetooth earbuds. In this case, it has the QR code, right? But notice how it's the earbuds, and we had the same example for a fake retail website. Remember the example earlier from the fake retail websites that had earbuds too as the fake product, trying to sucker people in. It was offering free wireless earbuds, just pay for shipping. All right. And that's what scammers do. They'll use hot items and popular items, and they just use them across their scams. So you'll see wireless Bluetooth earbuds offered a lot in these scams because it was a pretty recently popular item in the past few years. But anyway, not getting off topic, you receive this postcard. It offers you a free gift. In this case, it has a QR code to scan. It's going to take it to a fake website that steals your personal information, your name, address. In this case, the person that reported it said it's going to steal your Amazon account details and your credit card details too. So, just because it came in the mail doesn't mean you could trust it any more than an email. So, we kind of covered 2 types of scams in one here, right? It's a postcard offering you a free gift. Whether it has a cue card or not, be suspicious of any kind of free gift offer. But the second was QR code scams. And let's talk about QR code scams a little bit more. Because I could create a whole separate section of this live stream just going over QR code scams. They're becoming more popular now. When COVID happened, everybody learned how to use QR codes. Everybody was, scanning menus. Everything was hands-free, and everybody learned how to use QR codes, right? So now we're seeing QR codes used in a lot of scams. And some examples of these scams, whether it's the digital examples, they're sending emails, and the emails will have QR code images or attachments with QR code images, right? And that's how they get past the link filters. They include a QR code in the email. All right. Free offers. Scan this QR code now, right? You see it pop up online. So there's plenty of digital versions of these QR code scams. I know it's ironic talking about QR code scams because I literally have a QR code on my screen, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And I'll use as an example of ways you can verify QR codes. But some other examples of these physical QR code scams that we're seeing a lot now. Parking scams. People are taking QR codes and putting the QR code stickers and placing them on top of parking meters. So people think they're scanning the QR code for the parking meter app, but they're actually scanning a QR code, takes you to a scammer's website, steals any information you provide to pay for parking, right? So we're seeing a lot of QR code fraud out there in the real world on parking meters, for example. Another one is parking tickets. People are getting physical parking tickets in their windshield, right? They look like tickets, parking tickets, and it has a QR code to scan. And when they scan the QR code, they get taken to a fake website to pay the fake ticket. But obviously, the information they provide will get stolen by the scammers. So those are a couple examples of real-life QR code scams that we're seeing out there these days. And there's plenty more examples, just like this gift card example here that has a QR code to scan. And another one you see, again, I get the irony, but on YouTube, there's these impersonation videos, right? And a lot of them, the most common one I see are the ones that they have like Elon Musk on loop, and it says, scan this QR code to any cryptocurrency you said will be doubled by Elon. And they make it look like it's some AI generated deal from Elon, right? But if you scan that code, it's actually a scam. And, again, I get the irony because I have a QR code on my screen as YouTube. But I'm going to use this as an example of how you could trust some QR codes. First of all, the QR code on my screen, for example, it has the URL under it of where it's supposed to go. Scamaware101.com/donate, right? I'm not trying to hide where that QR code goes to. And right off the bat, if there's a QR code somewhere and it doesn't tell you separately where it's supposed to go, be suspicious right off the bat. Second, if it does tell you where to go, skip the QR code altogether. There's no reason to trust my QR code because it has the URL right there. Go to scamware101.com/donate. You have to scan a QR code. The safest QR code is the ones you don't have to scan. Right? I said that a couple weeks ago. I try to remember to say it every week. The QR code should give you a way to just bypass it. Right? But if it doesn't, what you should definitely do is at least preview where it goes. If you're going to risk scanning it, it doesn't say where it's supposed to go, you're going to risk scanning it, at least preview, because when you do, it'll pop up, it'll tell you where it's going. Right? But at least view the whole link and make sure it's going where you expect it to go. But again, if you could avoid QR codes altogether, avoid them and go directly to the website. QR codes are like links. You don't want to randomly click on links, especially if they're not from trusted sources. And QR codes are the same thing. Well, they are. As you scan them, they go to links, right? So be careful with all of them because we're seeing a lot more QR code scams, both in the real world and also in the digital world as well. But anyway, let me get back to these snail mail scams because that QR code scam rant originated from a snail mail scam here. The next one we're going to talk about is inheritance scams. Hey, Elizabeth. Welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. So inheritance scams, we see the email versions of these two. They work the same way, but I'm going to share a snail mail version with you because, again, these are circulating, and it's important to be aware of them. I think, a lot of us get used to being targeted online so much that we just kind of trust the mail, but it's important to remember that scams still come in through postal service too. In the case of inheritance scams, victims are contacted with claims of a large inheritance from an unknown relative. But to claim it, they must pay fees or provide personal details. And a lot of times these inheritance scams, they impersonate a law office. So you'll receive an email, or in this case, a letter in the mail, and it looks like it's from a law office. It has the letterhead. It's got a logo up there. And you can see this is dated November 29th, 2024. So this isn't even a year old yet. This is a recent scam. This isn't some scam from 10 years ago or before the internet existed. This is circulating right now. Scammers are still sending out letters and using the same scams that they've always used. But in this case, basically, the letter impersonates a law firm in Canada. It claims that their deceased client died about 4 years ago. You shared the same last name with that deceased client, and since nobody's claimed the inheritance, you're entitled to her $10 million inheritance. All right. And now, the thing to note about this letter is what they did do is it's addressed to dear whoever, right? They use the same last name as whoever it's addressed to. They insert as the deceased client. So they did make sure that the last names matched. So everybody getting this scam letter, they do have, it'll be addressed to them, and then the name of the deceased will have the same last name listed there. So that's what they do to try to make the scam seem a little bit more believable. But anyway, it continues that they're asking to partner with you and claim this policy benefit since you share the same last name as the deceased. It's 100% risk-free. Of course, it always is, right? When you're dealing with no risk deal. I do have all necessary documentation to expedite the process in a highly professional and confidential manner. I will provide all the relevant documents to substantiate your claim as a beneficiary. This claim requires a high level of confidentiality and may take up to 30 days. Notice how you mentioned confidentiality over and over again. That takes us back to that red flag we talked about earlier in the live stream when we talked about 5 common red flags. And one of them was requesting secrecy, requesting confidentiality, and we see that a lot in here. And you know what? The fact of the matter is, if you were getting an inheritance and you wanted to tell somebody, who are they to tell you that you got to keep it confidential, right? It's shady. Especially from someone you don't know, a letter coming in out of nowhere. And again, these scams are circulating right now. This one's less than a year old. The way the scam works is if you do engage with this person, what they'll do eventually is they'll tell you you need to pay fees and taxes on this $10 million inheritance before you could receive the payment. But what happens is when you pay those fees and taxes, that's what they steal. There was no inheritance. You don't get anything. And think of the fees and taxes on $10 million, right? So the scammers are going to make a pretty penny off of people who fall for this. When we received this letter, we Googled it. We knew right away it was a scam, but we Googled a couple sentences off of this. A couple sentences, we Googled the law offices, and right away, other people reporting this exact same scam came up. People reported the exact same letter, except the only difference was, that it was addressed to and the name of the deceased listed. But everything else on the letter was word for word identical. So it took 2 seconds to verify this was a scam. And this scam has been around even before the internet. So this isn't something new. And keep in mind, even though I'm showing you the physical letter of this, the snail mail version, there's plenty of emails going around like this too, claiming that there's inheritance. This is a common scam you see in email as well. So be aware of these inheritance scams. Even if you get a letter that looks legit, letterhead, last name is right, don't trust it. It's a scam. How are we all doing out there? Let me know you're watching. We're getting towards the end of the live stream here. We still got some good stuff coming up, but we're getting there. So if you haven't clicked like yet, make sure to hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe. We're streaming on Facebook and Instagram this week too, which is something new we're trying. So far, I think it looks like it's going okay. Facebook disconnected once, but we've been good for the past 2.5 hours since. So I don't know if anybody's in there or not. I'm not really monitoring the chat over on Facebook or Instagram, but the stream is going over there. So if you are over there, hit that like button and feel free to engage with any others who are watching. I am, however, on the YouTube chats. So we have the YouTube live streams going as well. And those chats I am monitoring. So if you want to say hi or ask a question, hop on over to the YouTube live stream and type into one of those chats. And if you're just joining us, my name's Jared with Scamware 101. We do this live stream every week. The goal is to spread awareness of common scams. You can avoid becoming a victim, protect yourself, protect your loved ones. These scammers getting ruthless these days. We usually do these streams. We start them on Thursdays at 5:45 p.m., but we did this week a couple days early just because the holiday was coming up. But yeah, we've been going since 5:45 p.m. Eastern today, so we're up to like 3.5. So we're getting close to the 4-hour mark, which is about right. And I got one more type of scam to share with you, and then we're going to go check out the scam tracker map for the last 15 minutes. It was my favorite part of the live stream, so definitely stay tuned for the last 15 minutes here. But we have one more scam to go over before we get into the scam tracker map. It's the one more snail mail scam. So this snail mail scam, it's a secret survey or mystery shopper scam. And basically what happens, and by the way, we did a video about this scam too. It's our most recent video made a couple weeks ago. Might have been a little longer at this point, but we also have a video about this scam. The same examples I'm going to show are shared in that video too. So if you want to share it with a loved one or review it, it's on our YouTube channel. But anyway, so this scam, again, snail mail, you receive a letter in the mail and impersonates Walgreens and CVS. And basically it says that you've been selected to be a secret mystery shopper, or you've been assigned a secret survey assignment is what they say. But it's basically to be a mystery shopper. And contained in this envelope, along with the letter, is a check. Big red flag. And basically what's happening is this letter, it claims you've been selected to be a mystery shopper. We've included the check for you. It includes a $450 commission. The check's going to cover it. And the assignment is for the victim to go and purchase gift cards. There's that red flag. Any mention of gift cards should always self red flag, because scammers love getting gift cards. And basically what this says is it instructs the victim, go deposit this check, and then within 12 to 24 hours, go purchase 4 $500 gift cards. In this case, the scammer is requesting Apple gift cards, Razer Gold gift cards, Nike gift cards, Steam Wallet gift cards. And it instructs to take pictures and send it to the scammer. It ends up being about $2,000, and then the victim, who doesn't realize they're a victim yet, supposedly gets to keep the extra $450 on the check for themselves as a commission. Right? So somebody receives this letter, they think, great, and the check's even here. Perfect. They go, they deposit that at the bank, not thinking about it. They go purchase these gift cards, send them to the scammer, thinking all is fine and dandy. They made their $450 commission, and then 2 and 3 days later, the bank bounces the check, takes the funds back, and hits the victim with a fee for depositing a bad check, just to add insult to injury. So the victim gets stuck $200 in the hole because it was a bad check, and the $450 commission wasn't real, so they didn't make $450, and they get hit with a fee from the bank. So that's how this scam works. Meanwhile, the scammer gets away with $2,000 worth of gift cards. Victims tend to fall for this because they think that the money's in the bank. They think, I got a check, I deposit it, the money's in the bank, we're good. But that's how this scam tricks them. That's why it says within 12 to 24 hours, because they tricked the victim into purchasing the gift cards before realizing that being notified the check's no good. And that's how this secret survey or mystery shopper scam works. And this isn't just a one-off. So here's the first example of a letter, but here's another example. Same scam. The instructions are a little different, but it's the same idea. It impersonates Walgreens, CVS. It says you've been selected as you've been assigned a secret survey assignment, mystery shopper. In this case, it includes a check for $1,987. And this scammer is asking the victim to purchase 3 gift cards, $500 each. In this case, the scammer wants Apple gift cards. See, so visit any 3 of the above stores that sell Apple gift cards and purchase a total of $1,500. So this scammer prefers Apple gift cards. And what's interesting about this example of that scam or that letter, it actually has a list of different stores you could go to, where the first example it only says go to Walgreens and CVS. But the second example here, it says Walgreens, Best Buy, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, Family Dollar, Meijer, Kroger, Safeway, Dollar General, Walmart, Speedway, Albertsons. Right? So this scammer is just like, go to any of those stores and buy me Apple gift cards. Right? Again, the victim thinks they have the check in hand, they deposit at the bank. They don't realize that the funds aren't there. They only find out after it's too late, a couple days later. So, very common scam. We're seeing it pop up more recently. Those were two recent examples of letters people received, and with a check, a fake check along with them. So don't get fooled by that scam. And those are 4 examples of, well, more than 4 because of QR codes. Those are like 4 or 5, 6, 7 examples of snail mail scams. Watch out for these days, especially QR code scams as well. And always remember, just because I showed you snail mail versions, there's plenty of digital versions too. So we're starting to get towards the end of the live stream, but we're getting to the favorite part of my live stream, which is the AARP scam tracking map. So we're going to spend like the last 15 minutes or so of this live stream, and we're going to check out some of the recent reports that are coming in to the AARP scam tracker map. Earlier, we talked about the tools and software section on the scamware101.com page, website. And the tools and software section, the last link that we mentioned was the AARP scam tracking map. So I'm going to bring that up right now. But before I do, I just want to take a quick moment for anybody joining late here, just joining now, seeing a live stream for the first time. Thank you for joining. We do this live stream every week, usually on Thursdays. We bumped up early this week. I'm Jared with Scamware 101. Our goal is to spread awareness about these scams that target individuals, scams that everybody's vulnerable to and being targeted by. Important to know, important to be aware of, and that's our mission here at Scamware 101. So definitely hit like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Join our free mailing list. Go to scamware101.com, hit join mailing list. We'll send you some scam awareness tips, reminders when we're going live. We won't abuse the privilege. You can unsubscribe at any time, but I don't think you will because we don't spam you. So scamware101.com, hit join mailing list. And you can follow us on your favorite social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, and YouTube, of course. Right now, we're live streaming on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So wherever you're watching, hit that like button, leave us a comment, and we'll probably see it a little later if it's Facebook or Instagram. Right now, I'm monitoring the YouTube live stream. So if you have a question or want to say something before we wrap up the live stream in 20 minutes or so, head over to the YouTube live stream and say something in there, and I'll reply. If you have any questions or want to share the story. But anyway, let's get on to the last section of our live stream here, and maybe my favorite section. So you go to scamware101.com under Tools and Software, and we have a link here to the AARP Scam Tracking Map. And this is a fun resource because it shows you all the recent reports coming in within a couple days. I think it's going to show us like all the reports from like maybe 2 days ago. And it shows you on a map of the U.S. where all the reports are coming in from. You can allow it to detect your location. It will zoom in and tell you what's being reported in your location, or you click Never, it'll show you the rest of the country. So I hit Never, this way I want to see countrywide. And let's see. Oh, good. So here's the reports from yesterday. So these reports literally came in a day ago that we're going to check out here. So we'll take a look at what these scam reports are saying, and we'll see if we already talked about them or not earlier in the live stream, or maybe there's some new ones to discuss. And by the way, hit that thumbs up, give us a like if you're just joining, and make sure to subscribe. So the first report here. A text from strange number claiming to have my FedEx package. All right, there you go. Undeliverable package scam. Right, we talked about that one earlier. Showed you examples of these scammers impersonating FedEx, UPS, USPS. We're going to be seeing more and more of the scam over the next few months, especially as the holidays approach. But there you go. Somebody's reporting it right there. So be aware of that one. We have a video about that one too, if you want to check out our YouTube channel and warn a loved one about it. Let's see, what's this next report say? I get a message saying that I need to contact a specific number with a case number they provided me. They also called several. Okay. Yep. This is a common one too. Um, let's read what else she said. Yeah, they called several family members. They say they have a subpoena. Yeah. They try to make it sound official by having keyboard typing. I don't want any of my money. So, yeah, this scam's actually kind of scary. So, these people are calling up, they're impersonating collection agencies and law firms. And they're saying they have a subpoena for money that you've owed for something. They leave a pretty professional sounding voicemail. They leave a case number. And this scam was actually reported to me. I did a little investigating. And what was interesting is I called back the number and I put in the case number that this person received. And they did look it up and pull up the person's name. So at that point, I was like, all right, that's weird. So I hung up because at that point, I didn't really know any other information to discuss with the scammer. I thought they would, just hit me with a random script. But they knew who that case number, the name of the person that was associated with. But it was a scam. It was definitely a scam. It was shady. There was something strange about it. And here's somebody reporting about that same scam. So, interesting. So be suspicious of anybody calling, claiming there's a subpoena out for you and leaving a case number. It sounded pretty official when I was looking into that one, when I got that report. That was a few months ago at this point. But we see it being reported here by other people. Take a look at some other recent scams here. Northern Alliance Lottery called, but I did not respond. They followed up with a letter enclosing a check, urging me to... let's see what it urges her to do with the check. Because lottery scams are a big thing. But usually the purpose of those are to trick you into providing bank account information to get a deposit and things like that. Let's see. Northern Alliance Lottery called, but I did not respond. They followed up with a letter enclosing a check, urging me to contact them to receive my prize. Yeah. Anything that comes with a check, just like we used that mystery shopper example, be suspicious of any snail mail envelopes that include a check. People aren't just sending out checks. There's always something shady going on if they try to make it look like a check or include a check with the envelope. Always something shady. Here we go. Received an email from Adobe Signs saying that they had my order and owed $3.99. I deleted the message. This is probably an example of a fake order notification, because we know there's a lot of those being sent out through Adobe Sign, DocuSign, SharePoint. These scammers are using these third-party services that send out emails for signatures to bypass the filters. The filters don't realize it's a scam. They think it's a legit somebody sending over something for a signature. In this case, they used Adobe Sign. And it looks like a fake order scam. It says an order was placed for $3.99, and it probably included information to call, or a number to call, that connects to a scammer. But anyway, we talked about those earlier. Have a video on that one. Make sure to check that one out too. Rating business task scam has currently scammed approximately 6,000 by VIP current in order to move ahead and close out. Oh, okay. This is an example of employment scam. We haven't heard about, well, I haven't got much reports about these recently. They're more popular at the beginning of the year, but here's a report about it. It's a type of employment scam known as a task scam. And what it works is it tricks victims into thinking that they could work from home for a company, and they're assigned to certain tasks, like go click like on these 5 pages, go leave a comment on these 5 pages. There's these little tasks, but it's gamified. They download an app, it has these tasks, and supposedly they get paid as they do these tasks. But at some point during the scam, they have to deposit money into the app. And that's where the scam starts happening. They start forcing them to deposit money, and then you never get the money back and out of there. And it's known as a task scam. So if you're getting an offer to do these little tasks online, like click like, and it involves cryptocurrency, if they ask you to deposit something, don't trust it. A lot of these employment scams, that's how they work. They ask you to send them money. They come up with some narrative to get you to send them money, or they'll have you purchase a laptop and send them it for onboarding. But it's actually a scam. They just tricked you into purchasing them a laptop. So, interesting employment scams. That was a task scam somebody reported. Charity scams and fraud. Recently received emails from Costco, another from State Farm, and today from United Healthcare about receiving a free, let's see, a free large cooler, Medicare emergency first aid kit, etc., only for the cost of shipping with your, yeah. So there you go. That's an example of a fake retail website or fake retail product, and they're using the same catch line where it's like, get your free cooler, just pay for shipping. Get your free first aid kit, just pay for shipping. But it's a scam. They're going to steal your credit card details. So they make it sound like you're going to get a great offer, but it's really to steal your details. And we talk, it's similar to the fake retail website scams we talked about earlier. The offer sounds too good to be true. Don't trust it. In this case, I mean, that's more believable. A free first aid kit, just pay for shipping. That's a lot more believable. So this scam's probably even a little bit more dangerous. So I guess the moral there is be suspicious of anything that supposedly is free but wants you to pay for shipping. Tech support scams or fraud. I was charged $2.99 from Norton for a product I never had nor do I want. This could be a couple things. One, this could just be some angry guy that didn't realize his Norton was auto-renewing. Or this could be an example of one of those fake emails. Those fake phishing emails that go out claiming you were just charged $2.99 for Norton, and they're trying to trick you into calling a scammer to dispute it. So it could be another example of a fake order notification scam. Or this guy just might not realize his auto renew is going through. But anyway, we did discuss those fake order scams, and that's just another variation that you could receive too. Government imposter scam. The sender pretends to be involved with student loans and implies they are part of the student loan forgiveness program. I'm not going to go into that with too many details, but I am going to point out that these scammers will impersonate any government agency, and what they do is they monitor the hot topics and trends, meaning that when student loans are being talked about a lot, you're going to see scams where they impersonate the government agencies dealing with student loans. When Medicare or Medicaid is being talked about a lot, you're going to see a spike in impersonation scams where they're impersonating Medicare or doing Medicare fraud, which, by the way, watch out for that because lots of that's going on right now and it's in the news a lot. So as if the Medicare scams weren't bad enough and need to be watched out for. We'll be seeing that a lot more. Let's take a look at one more page, 5 more reports, and see what else people are reporting. So far, we got a couple good ones in here that we don't usually talk about. So that's why I enjoy this portion of the live stream the most, I think, because it exposes us to some new things that we don't usually or might not talk about on the live stream usually. Business Imposter got a call with an auto message saying over $1,000 has been charged to my Walmart business account. It's a fake order scam. Call this number to dispute it, right? So the example we played earlier for these fake order scams was Walmart, impersonated Walmart, but says a PlayStation was purchased. So watch out for these fake order scams. Unfortunately, they can impersonate any retailer. They can claim any purchase was made, any product was purchased. We know text messages are going out with these fake order notifications. We know emails are going out. We know phone calls are going out. So that's an important scam to be aware of. Check out the video we have on our YouTube channel about that one if you missed us on our live stream today, because it's important to see those examples and be aware of that one. Fake order scams or fake purchase scams. Business Imposter. A person called me and said that she had a scheduled meeting that I missed. She proceeded to try to tell me that I signed up for... this sounds like a new one. Let's see what this one is. She proceeded to tell me that I signed up for their database training, which I did not. She was trying to tell me that I owe them money for the training, which I do not. All right. I don't know. I don't hear about that one often. I mean, it just kind of sounds like somebody calling up and trying to trick her to make a payment. So, last 2 here. Auto-related scam. Threatened with prosecution if I didn't pay a ticket. I knew it was a scam and didn't proceed. So this is probably the unpaid toll scam. Extremely common right now. Lots of variations. They're threatening you with tickets. They're claiming DMV is going to suspend your license. Yeah, so watch out for those unpaid toll text message scams, especially during the holidays. The scammers know this weekend is holiday weekend. People could be traveling, visiting family. The scammers know it. So they'll be probably sending out these unpaid road toll scams, trying to trick people, make them think, hey, you went traveling for a holiday weekend, you missed a toll. If you get any of those text messages, don't trust them. And go check out the video we did about that scam too, the unpaid road toll scam. All right, and then the last report here. Family imposters. Oh, a grandparent scam. Excellent. The phone, let's see what details this report shares. We talked about this scam, and we even played a video of a scammer earlier in the live stream. We played a video recorded of a scammer doing one of these grandparent scams from Dominican Republic. So this is probably a good report to wrap up the live stream on. Let's see. This person says, the phone rang. I answered before I saw who it was because a member of the family was sleeping. A crying woman came on calling me mom. It was hard to understand her because she was sobbing heavily. This is great. See, this describes that call I played earlier perfectly, right? Because that's how the scammer gets away with it. People don't realize, they're like, I would know if it's a family member. But the scammer calls, and he just sounds like a crying woman, right? You can't, they say a couple sentences, they sound like a crying woman, and the victim's left thinking, well, that could have been my daughter. That could have been my relative. They can't tell. They just heard a crying woman that was for a couple sentences, and now next thing you know, they're talking to a cop. But anyway, a crying woman came on calling me mom. It was hard to understand her because she was sobbing heavily. I asked her name repeatedly. She didn't respond to that. So in this case, they didn't know the name. Asked if I would speak to the officer. A man came on, speaking with an accent. Knew my husband's name. I kept asking for my daughter's name. He didn't respond to that, and eventually he hung up. So this guy sounds a little sloppy, this scammer. The one we played earlier, he was a little bit better. But yeah, that sums up a grandparent scam. Luckily, this person didn't fall for it, but that's exactly what happens. They call up, they impersonate the loved one. They just impersonate a crying woman for a couple sentences, and they just say mom. So right away you think, is that my daughter? If you have a daughter. So grandparent scams are happening. This report came in yesterday. So I'm glad we covered that one. So there we go. We covered a lot of scams that people are reporting about, and we just discussed a few that we hadn't covered. So lots of good stuff there. And I think it's about time to wrap up this live stream. All right, everybody. That concludes our live stream this week. Thank you to everybody who attended. It was good to see everybody. Some familiar faces, some new faces. Hey, before you leave, last chance to hit that like button. If you're watching us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, hit that like button. Hit that follow. If it's on Facebook, hit subscribe. If you're on YouTube, the more likes, the more subscribers we get, the more our content gets out there. So you could help. You can help spread awareness by clicking a like on our content. Don't forget to join our free mailing list. Go to scamaware101.com, hit join mailing list. It's free. We'll send you scam awareness tips. We won't abuse the privilege. You're all good. You can unsubscribe at any time, but try it out. Follow us on your favorite social media. Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky. More followers, more likes, the better. All right? If you want to help out financially, scamaware101.com/donate. We take some donations there, or feel free to hit that super thanks button over here on YouTube. We appreciate anything we could get. Next week, we'll be here on Thursday, 5:45 p.m. Eastern, our usual time. You can check our upcoming event schedule here on our website or on our Facebook page. We have events. But our next one is July 10th, Thursday, July 10th. You go RSVP to the Facebook event if you need a reminder, or join our mailing list. We'll send out a reminder an hour before. And that's about it. Thank you again, everybody, for attending. Good to see you all. Have a great holiday weekend. I hope to see you all next week. And until next time, stay safe. I'm Jared with Scamware 101. Have a great weekend.